Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Here comes the pressure, they got it again. Block punt. Touchdown. Jalen Bradley picks it up and scores it.
Empty backfield. Iamagava, Nico, look out. Got away. Touchdown. Damon Williams. He'll get it. And he breaks in. Washington leads for the first time today. Maryland trails for the first time this year.
Eckley is inside his own 15. Barney at the Husker 30. Snap back to Eckley. It's blocked. Con blocked it. It's picked up. Carter Nelson. Touchdown Huskers. They came right at it. Nelson picked it up. 13-0 Scarlet and the Cream. 2nd and 4, handoff, Johnson up the middle, swerves into the end zone. Touchdown Huskers. The exclamation point and the hat trick for EJ. Third touchdown for 21. It's 37-21 with 4:27 to go.
Big play, I thought, was the wheel route to Jacory to get us going at the end of the third, and then we had the win in the fourth. I planned on taking the ball to have the win in the fourth for a game-winning field goal, but they gave it to us anyway. So, probably a good decision by them. They scored 2 touchdowns with it, but, we were able to win the game in the fourth. So, scored 38 points, not the cleanest game we've ever had. So, we'll try to get better.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How are we doing?
We're doing all right. How are you?
Hanging in there, man. Another weekend.
Another weekend.
Get a win. Try to move on.
Oh, did they win this weekend?
I think so.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Really? So I'm gonna keep it a buck. I try to really stay off
That's probably for the best.
social media.
That's probably for the best.
But it wasn't for anything intent. It was a crazy game. So
Really strange game. Like, really very odd game.
So I what were the hot takes?
I mean, so I spend a lot of time on the old internets during the game.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest,
I have TweetDeck open.
second, third quarter was
Oh yeah. I could imagine.
I think people may have thought we had to shutter the program.
Yeah.
It was pretty aggressive.
I can only imagine.
And
Would it be
mercy
like
me.
when I walk
Like, it was
by your side,
aggressive.
surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus, or in awe of you be still? Okay.
I'm just gonna let you keep going. Go ahead.
I'm better.
No,
I'm
it's
better.
good. I like that song.
I can only imagine. No, so it's pretty bad.
Oh, it was rough.
I looked at KC and Benny Mac, and
I think everybody's fired.
Jess is doing the play-by-play in my ear, and she's like, Butler is going ballistic. I was in shock. I walked down the 5th floor to see my buddy because at halftime, Noddle's Jay's suite is right below the booth.
Yeah.
And it was his birthday, and it was all decorated, so I went down there, and he's like, what is going on? It's just his delivery.
Like that,
I was like, ugh. Like that, yeah, like what he just did. Ugh.
Yeah.
like that, ugh.
I don't know. And I think at that time, I don't know, what we have, 67 total yards, maybe? It was something low. And then, about three quarters of the way through the third quarter, it was like at 77 yards. I looked at KC, he looked at me, just a shrug, man. And it was like, they're going to have to snap out of this.
And they did, which is good.
Yeah, that 40 minutes of time without the offense being on the field was
Pretty rough.
not good.
I mean, it was good in one sense. You got a special teams touchdown, right?
Yeah.
That's a positive, but
What a debacle that was. 5 for 5, and then you leave the inside guy unaccounted for, and he about murders your punter.
I thought
He took that thing off his kneecap, not even off his foot.
I'm gonna be honest. I was a little bit more concerned about Jameer Khan than I was the punter.
Oh, the awkward landing?
Well, he kind of
He's folded back a little bit.
Well, not just that. He kind of got kicked like right in the goods.
Nah, he's good.
All right.
You worry about his landing. His knees were bent. He's bent back.
Did he get? Yeah. No, I was good.
It's very. You don't expect to come that clean. I don't think.
I wouldn't imagine. Right? Like that's about. I mean, nobody touched him.
No.
That's about as clean as you're gonna get through there. I wasn't paying attention to landing. I was worried about where the ball hit him.
Yeah, that landing was not good.
It was no, so you get the special teams touchdown, which we'd been thinking was maybe on the way. Almost got 2 of them.
Yeah, I told my fine folks in Nebraska City they would get the block, scoop score. Not bad.
It was a quality effort there, but it led to the offense not being on the field for
A long time.
very long time of actual time there. And then by the time I saw this, or I can't remember who said it. It was on the internet somewhere, because sometimes they do put useful things on there. It was Nebraska had 1 drive with the wind until the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
which is kind of wild to think about, considering how big of a factor that seemed to
well,
play.
and you want the second quarter drives for Nebraska after the kickoff?
So we've got, let's do it.
You went punt.
Yeah.
Then you went punt, interception, punt. Punt.
That's not great.
No. So
punt, pick, punt.
It's not good.
That's not like a terrific stretch of ball game right there.
No.
So I understood the frustrations in real time.
And I kept saying to KC, I said, just bear with me. This might have been off air. Just bear with me. I said, I get the run game stats aren't great because you have to subtract, net yards, but hand the ball to your running backs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just do that. I think at the end of the game, what'd they end up going? I mean,
Nebraska
had the 1 for 11, and
he was
17 for 89 or something like that.
13 for 83.
Okay.
So he was at 6.4 per. Mackay had the 1 for 11. Mosey had 3 for 9. And then Heinrich had 1 for 2. So, I mean, you go Emmett and Mackay and Mosey together, you get 17 for 103.
Yeah.
Which you'll take that. That's 5 plus.
Do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Your average yards per completion was 12-1. I get it. But I told you that was kind of the fool's gold.
Mm-hmm.
Said on Thursday, said on Friday. There's going to be this tendency to want to go attack. And I think one of the interesting things for Nebraska, shoot, man, how do you want to play going forward? I mean, it's on record for a long time. What I tell you the offensive line does the best?
Run block. Yeah.
That's kind of the dilemma. And if we're going to throw it, which they didn't a ton, did you feel like he was going to have more passing attempts when you looked up?
Yes, but then I had to remember they just didn't run that many plays.
Yeah. I mean, he just had
55 plays.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
And I think, and what'd you have against Michigan? 56?
Something like that.
I think it was 56.
You're probably right.
Because I remember the 26 solos out of the 56 total plays.
No, I thought it was 40 solos out of 70-some total plays.
That was
Michigan. Sorry, yes, you're right. Nebraska's. Yeah. Sorry, I get confused sometimes with numbers. There's a lot of them.
No. But you're half right.
Yeah.
Nebraska did have 76 plays against Michigan.
Yes.
On offense. They only saw 56 on defense. So you're half right.
Gotcha.
What I said.
Gotcha.
I almost screwed that up. And I was going to let you.
But yeah, I thought that. I mean, I thought they ran the ball well when they actually did do.
How do you want them to run it?
I don't know. I really don't. Like I've been thinking about that a lot because I do. I mean, I'm sort of just like, hey, Dylan's your best player. Your wide receivers are really good. Like, I'm not going to try and overthink this here. Mm-hmm. Like, if we think we could throw the ball, let's throw the ball. At the same time, probably do need to run it a little bit, a little balance, get your offensive line lathered up at what they're good at, So I mean, they didn't run very much of it. I do like some of the two-back stuff. I really liked when you don't have to do all the window dressing right, but on the goal line play where
the double handoff,
Harburg basically ends up being the lead blocker. Mm-hmm. I liked that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm kind of with.
You could just line him up in.
Yeah, you could just line him up in the H-back.
In an H-back and run lead.
Yeah. Which I get. You want to get a little misdirection.
I like the concept. Concept was slick.
But in order to get what I ended up.
Everybody was waiting to see if they were going to run that in the game. That's funny. People that had seen practice.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I mean, so I liked the play call, but I don't think you have to do all the eye candy to still get some of the benefit of having Heinrich as your lead blocker. So I think I'm with you. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more two back to give the to give the running back a little bit more of a
See
chance.
how critical it is for somebody to be able to run the ball in the red zone in tight quarters.
Yeah, for sure.
But Nebraska was good in the red zone.
I mean, that's a positive.
Finishing drive rate was better too, which I think was going to be a key. But there was a stretch there where I felt like, and it came down a little bit, starting at the 47-yard line. That was like halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah,
it was a little better than that.
Yeah,
excuse me. Up until then.
Yeah, it had
my
been.
allergies are whipping my tail.
Dude, mine went crazy yesterday.
Oh.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, neither. It was a horrible 4-hour stretch for me yesterday.
I think, I mean, obviously the punt returns by Barney were a huge factor there. And I thought that, I mean, part of that's the defense though, too, right? Yeah. Is like getting Michigan State in a position, A, where they have to punt, and B, where they're not punting into your own end zone for the most part. So, I mean, I thought there was a lot of things that were really good. And I don't know if you want to get in the offensive line right now or not. Well, I don't know if it's too early for that.
No, we're.
But I actually went back because that was one of the big narratives, right? Fire Donnie, offensive line is terrible, whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I need to go back and actually see what it was, right? So I checked, I do my PFF checks and then I do my rewatch and just to see where everything is. So PFF had them at 33 total dropbacks. I actually had it at 35. I don't know if I counted like something they thought was a designed run that I didn't think was or whatever. But
let me guess. Can I just guess something real quick?
Yeah.
Because I'm not really a PFF guy.
Yeah.
Will I be surprised at who the lowest graded player was?
Ooh, are you just doing overall?
Yeah.
I can do that. I was very surprised by who the last and second last guys on defense were. And then let me check the offense.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, maybe not. Who do you think the lowest rated player was? Give me offense, then give me defense.
I think it was Dylan.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Dylan was the lowest rated player on offense. And then on defense, who do you think the lowest rated player was?
What was the grade?
Let's see. It was pretty low. Let me double check here. Do you want lowest starter or lowest overall? Because they play a lot of guys. They played 21 guys. And it's close between the low. Do you want a hint?
No.
Okay. It's 50.2 or 50.9.
Okay, so it's not somebody in the secondary because I certainly thought it could be. But I bet you he was probably mid-60s. And I bet you the other one was in the 50s.
So this is one of those where, sometimes I put on the rundowns PFF versus the eye test. On defense, the PFF is wildly departed from what I thought the eye test was.
I'm going to say the lowest was McCullough.
It was not. They had, so the very lowest they had Dawson Merritt.
Yeah, I could see that though.
The one that I was surprised by, the second lowest, the lowest starter, was Shavers.
I could see that.
I thought he played better than that.
So
I know he missed some. But
you know what it is, and I don't know what they're grading.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do. I've looked at the rundown. If you want to subscribe to their stats and this, that, and the other, and sometimes you're the beneficiary of being on the field for. Like Dylan's obviously going to get killed for the pick, or you give up a touchdown and you're on defense and you're in the fit. Like you get dinged pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they would get into the weeds about taking things on or not, but I could see like in a real film study where it wouldn't be very good. But I do think the splash plays, and for him, the reason I like him so much is because he's still learning.
Shavers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's where
he used to be so situational, and he's now learning to become kind of an every down guy.
Yeah.
He is gonna be way good.
I agree. And he is one of the guys. He's
got a chance to be pretty good. The game's starting to slow down for him a little bit, but playing all three downs inside like that is hard in this defense.
Yeah.
Right? Because to stay on the field in dime versus base,
I mean, you gotta be able to cover.
And it doesn't to the naked eye, it doesn't really fit you. Like, because it's like, well, kind of the difference. I mean, but you have to kind of get in the weeds. Like, Nebraska swapped their safeties out in base about halfway through the second quarter, but they had to go back to some of the same personnel when they played dime because that's what you practiced all week.
Yeah.
Right. But them having to go back and forth between base personnel and their dime personnel, I think was an interesting kind of give and take because you saw obvious pass rushing or passing situations and you're like, oh, let's put this package in. Sometimes I thought they should have been like, let's not.
Yeah.
Let's keep these guys out on the field because you had pulled a couple of guys out of your base, but they're playing in your dime.
Yeah. So
that was kind of an interesting.
Yeah, sort of a weird wrinkle.
Yeah, but you're probably in base 2 out of the first 3 plays, you hope.
Right. So theoretically, that guy should be playing about 2/3 of the snaps.
More, correct.
Right.
Correct.
Who do you think the highest rated defender was? I'll give you the 2 highest rated defenders.
I would go with Cia Wright.
Nope.
Wow.
I don't know how much they give when you're not throwing at a guy. I mean, although they threw it in more than most.
His pass coverage was pretty good.
It was, yeah.
Did he get an 80s in pass coverage?
No. This is, like I said, there was a lot of departures on this one for me. On PFF.
Winari?
He was second. I thought he had a very good game. That was one I agreed with.
How about them just putting him in like those wide nines?
Yeah. How about him chasing guys down from like the opposite?
I talked to him when he's just kind of, this is super early, and they're not even really dressed yet, and he's kind of sitting under the deal, just taking it all in while guys are starting to get warmed up. And I was like, he just looks like a terrifying individual.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking about, but I certainly was not going to say, hey,
buddy, what's up?
What's on your mind? It's one of those where you just whistle on by. So if it wasn't Winari, it will be. Is it D lineman?
It was not. There was another D lineman at 3, but it is not a D lineman, and it's not Cia Wright at 1.
Singleton.
Javen.
Really? He played better.
I thought he had a good game.
I said that early.
I thought he had a good game.
So you can just tell, and I knew, and I said this to KC in the broadcast. I'm like, Wright is having a day. He was not happy with Michigan, nor should he have been.
Yeah, I thought that was bad tape.
And, I saw Sip in the hallway the Tuesday presser. Remember when I went to go get my bag, I thought I forgot it. And he was just picking my brain about a couple of guys. And I said, hey, listen, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, a couple of these guys just have to play better, and it starts with 0. Like, Wright's got to play better inside. And he said, well, so this and so that. I said, Sip, we're still talking about less than 7 starts.
Yeah.
He's inside now full time. It's going to take him a little bit. But
looks, it's messy to navigate, right? Like visually.
It's Avril Lavigne, man. It's complicated.
Yeah. I mean, not just visual. I guess like, with bodies too, right? You're navigating.
I thought he was outstanding.
I thought he had a really good game. It did not surprise me that he was
recognizing. He was dialing. I said,
seemed like he was reacting quickly
during the broadcast. I said, man, you could tell Buddha has come back with a vengeance. Like, he was aggressive. He was downhill. He's getting much better at using his levers to strike. Like, he has those long.
He's super long.
So, and he doesn't mind when it goes dark now. Like, he'll strike you. At least he was on Saturday. The more he uses his hands and acts like it's like a game of tag. I always tell those guys with long arms, I want to touch you before you touch me.
Absolutely.
So, getting off and using your levers as weapons is like a legit thing. I thought he was fantastic. I should have said, I thought I should have said him easily.
Yeah, I thought Javen had a really, really good game.
He's really starting to – he understands the nuances now too, or getting there.
Yeah.
But he's still for as old as he is, he's still
pretty
inexperienced.
Yeah, pretty inexperienced.
And those are 2 guys inside that are continuing with Shavers and Buddha. The more snaps they see and the situational stuff they see, like, they'll continue to
the better they'll get. I also liked that. And then we'll get to offense here in a second. I also liked that they seemed like they were bringing Shavers downhill a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like they put him on the outside a couple times. They kind of put him into blitz packages a couple times. I think that's a little bit better fitting of his skill set.
Yeah.
Because he kind of like hair on fire, go hit the ball type of guy. I was pretty pleased with how they use Shavers.
Yeah, no question. And Shane, can you put Josh's deal? Can you bold that for me? It was, you know what I don't think a lot of fans realize is total offense, Nebraska's 30th, which is really good. Total defense, 11th. Hasn't felt that way, but it is. And here's the other thing, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to, I don't know if are you an analytics guy?
Yeah.
So I'm a big points per play guy.
Yeah.
Nebraska's in the top 30 in both.
Yeah. That's good. It's very good.
I think they're top maybe 31-ish defensively.
Yeah.
And points per play given up.
Yeah.
Which is that dog will hunt.
Yeah, that'll work.
And you're top 20, you're 20-ish in offense.
Yeah, which will also
that
work.
That will really hunt. Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they can't get better in some areas. They certainly can.
Absolutely.
And they'll continue to tinker with it.
Absolutely.
Because they're highly competitive. But the narrative of this, it was maddening.
Yeah, it really was.
And this certainly, we're a long ways away from saying I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to continue to chill on the whole schematics versus personnel versus what we can't do.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing, and I said it all year, was going to be an evolution in terms of growth and experience. I was going to trust that those guys could figure out who can play and who can accomplish what they want to accomplish. And I think they're going to continue to do that. But statistically, when you look at what's important, like points per play, your finishing drive rate is significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a stretch. I mean, I looked at B-Mac, and he does a lot. He is a flipping magician.
Yeah.
We don't pull a lot of those stats out of our rear end. Like
he's got those ready.
He's just constantly processing.
Oh, yeah.
And so he has like these little quirky tidbits. And there was a stretch where he's like charting, yards gained on the plus side of the field. So not just the obvious, like where they're starting, but kind of what's happening when they do real time. And
especially early, they struggle.
I'm trying to see if there's a place where we can use it, and I'm just kind of storing it. And Casey's reading like crazy as he's doing the scene set. And there was a stretch about halfway through the third quarter where I said, the dam has to break. And when Michigan State didn't take the wind at the half, I think on the broadcast, I said to Casey, does that surprise you? Like, you must really think you can gain enough control in the third quarter where it's not going to matter. I said, I wouldn't have rolled that dice.
You think it was like a momentum play where they felt like the momentum coming out of half or going into the half, and so they wanted to try and capitalize?
Well, if they had been watching Childs at all, he couldn't throw with the wind, which a lot of times people don't. It's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it'll sail on you
than you think.
Yeah,
and he was doing. Because, I don't know what the television shows, but we can see it all, right? He was doing way too much talking with the Whiteheads. I mean,
I don't think I saw that.
Almost from the jump.
Really?
Yes. So that lets me know, like, he's bothered by the bodies around him.
Yeah.
Whether it's guys at his feet, whether he's taking shots, he was just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because,
which I thought Nebraska, I mean, that's kind of goes to what we were saying with Nebraska's defensive line. Like, I thought they did a really good job.
Oh, I mean, for Nebraska to have more havoc plays than Michigan State did, and Michigan State had all the sacks, like, that's pretty good defensively.
Adam says, and I think this was true, and then I do want to get to the offensive line. He said it seemed like less stunts and more line up and beat the man up front.
Nah, I don't know about that so much as
I didn't see as many stunts.
I mean, I think I have to compare it to and contrast.
Yeah, I don't have numbers.
They've done. I don't know. I think that would be easy.
It didn't feel like they were moving as much, but again, that's anecdotal.
But I don't know. I think the PFF grade. It's interesting.
That's why I think they're fascinating because there were some of these where I was like, yeah,
but there's guys I surprisingly agree with.
Yeah, there were some I was like dead. Like when I saw Javen first, I was like, yep, that's probably right.
I agree with that.
And Winari second, I was like, yep, that's probably right. I thought Sierra should have been higher. There was a couple guys I thought were way too high, but
I agree with Merritt.
Yeah, I think he made some splash plays, but I thought he was out of position.
And you know what? He's gonna be really good. He's
a true freshman. I mean, like, yeah.
Man, let's not act like that's a decent offense they saw.
Yeah.
I didn't love the offensive line, but the concepts are solid.
Yeah.
I mean, they
and Childs is hard.
Oh, he's a good player.
Like what did I say all week? More dynamic with his legs than anybody they'd seen.
He's a good player.
He's slippery.
He is and they have two pros outside. You just couldn't.
Marsh and Kelly are really good.
They are.
And really good.
And Nebraska, I feel like
they did a great job.
And I feel, he took the guys home. Well, actually, Donovan met us. Took some of the guys to Caleb's after the game, and I was talking to DJ, and just the level of understanding. You know, I told him, I walked out of the house. I said, you know, it's cool, man. I feel like I can talk to you like a coach. You know, it's big boy stuff, and you know, we're just analyzing. You know, as I said, hey, I said somebody may tell you. I said during the broadcast, I felt like they were picking on, you know, Donovan Jones. He said, oh, man. He's like, DB, I felt like that too, man. Don't worry. You know, it's just like he's just a cool kid, you know. But, you know, so we're just kind of going through, like, the schematics and stuff. And those guys, Kelly and Marsh, are really good.
Yeah.
And we'll roll our eyes. And
they are. I mean, we'll
act like
those guys will play in the NFL.
Ho-hum. We'll move on. And
those guys will play in the NFL.
But, I mean, they had some really good skill guys.
Yeah. And I mean, they were picking on Donovan. I think he's the only defender that played every snap. Or he played the most snaps. He played 68 out of 72.
Yeah.
That's the most. Marshall played every snap. He played 72.
Talk about a guy answering the dinner bell.
Yeah. They tried to pick on him a little bit early too and didn't work.
He was having none of it.
Yeah, he's like, no, thank you. Like this is one where I thought Donovan held up really well in coverage. They don't have his coverage grade super high. They don't have anybody's coverage grade super high. So I'm not sure what they were seeing there. I do want to get to the offensive line though, because
you were getting ready to go on some soapboxy diet.
Well, who do you think? I mean, this is a leading question, obviously now, but who do you think the highest rated offensive players were?
Players?
Yeah.
Oh, fudge.
And I'm not saying it's true, but I'm curious who you thought they were.
So I've got to look at its totality, right? I'm going to go with EJ.
He's third.
I'm going to go with Kyle Lindemeyer. I'm going to go with Luke.
He's pretty far down the list.
Really?
Yep.
Must not liked him in run blocking.
They didn't like him in pass blocking either.
He didn't stay in enough. That might be law of averages.
Probably. Though. It might be just had a couple bad ones and didn't stay in much. There's another guy that I thought maybe would be a little higher, but he's up there.
Give him to me.
Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's fourth. I thought maybe he'd be first. Like, if I had to guess, I probably would have gone Hunter.
What they give did they do run blocking?
That's 60, which I think is probably low. I thought he did a really good job.
Tough trial.
Yeah. So here's, again, Heinrich got a 71 on run blocking, but again, that might be small numbers, and they might be giving a lot of credit on the goal line one, which he did a great job on. But the two highest rated players on offense, Gunnar Gatula and Elijah Pritchett. Now, I think that's probably aggressive. I wouldn't have put them as the two highest rated players, but it does go to the thing that I went back and charted on one of my rewatches. And I'm not usually a charting guy because it's like really meticulous.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
I know what you did.
What do you think I do? It's very specific.
Because you've been on this.
It's very specific.
Yeah, but you've been on this since game one.
Okay.
Get rid of the ball, man.
Yeah.
Throw the ball, man.
Yeah.
What are you looking at, man?
Need to get rid of the ball.
I don't know the number, but you charted the amount of time the ball was held.
Pretty close. So let me ask you this. If you're an offensive coordinator, I know you did.
This is going to be it. I love when you get a little burr in your saddle. You're going to defend the O-line.
And listen, I love Dylan. Nobody's defended Dylan more than me.
100%.
Right? I've been pounding the table for this dude all offseason.
I'm all
I
ears.
want a fired up, blood in his eyes Dylan, because that's the best Dylan that there is, and the guys will fight for him.
If you are a coach, how long do you want your offensive line to give your quarterback? Like bare minimum, if you give me this, we're fine. Because I looked
ideally,
I looked it up to get an idea, so I'm curious what you think the number is. Because I kind of Googled like averages and things like that.
I'm gonna go 3 seconds.
That's what I used. I said I'm gonna count how many times, and I used my little timer on my phone from the time Dylan catches the ball, has it in his hands.
Is it amazed you? Do you remember when I had the meltdown over Caleb Williams, and I was like, they put the clock on him at 2.2 in the preseason?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it, but he's a second-year guy. But 2.5 seconds is in the NFL. Like that's top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Why are you giving Caleb Williams?
That way, you're giving him a hard time.
2.2. But go ahead, carry on.
So
my wayward son.
I used 3 seconds, so
Okay.
I'm glad that's what you said. And I'm using my little timer on every single drop back.
Oh, this is fascinating.
And I wanted to see how many times did he get 3 seconds, a full 3 seconds, versus
You know what?
how often did he get rid of the ball before that?
I had no idea what you were talking about in the rundown. I skimmed it. I'm like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
I was just counting. I was doing it live.
Oh,
I was doing it live.
okay.
So because I didn't have paper, so I was like, I'll just do it on the sheet.
I'm like, what is he talking? Okay, this makes more sense now.
Yeah. So
all right, let's ride.
So this is why I started with how many dropbacks PFF had him at versus how many I had him at. They had him at 33. I had him at 35. Okay. If you had to guess how many of his, what I counted 35 dropbacks, he had at least 3 seconds on, how many do you think it would be?
Okay, I like these.
And this is from
one more time.
This is from catch to either
one more time.
whenever the ball. How many dropbacks out of 35 do you think Dylan had at least 3 seconds?
Oh shoot, it's more than 30.
Well, okay. So let me get you the second half of this. Did he either get rid of the ball or have more than 3 seconds is over 30? Because there's some he gets rid of in 2 seconds, and that doesn't obviously count to the more than 3. But so that number is 31 of 35.
Okay.
18 of those he has more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's wild.
13 of those he gets rid of before 3 seconds. There are 4 plays in which he was asked to do something with the ball that he had less than 3 seconds. Here they are. He had 1 straight up sack in less than 3 seconds.
Okay.
He had the bad snap that was fumbled.
Yep.
I didn't know what to do with that one, so I just put it in its own category.
Okay.
Because so that's its own thing.
That's actually fair.
1 pressure that led to a batted pass when he tried to throw it underarm.
Oh, on the screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, again, screens are a little different because
the one to EJ or the one that he shoveled out to Harvard?
No, that one was completed. So the one to EJ where it got batted down.
Okay.
Again,
God, I just want him to pump and
I know.
get it out there.
So that
might have been a nice one.
And again, that's a screen. So I didn't totally know what to do with because you're letting that guy go on purpose.
Yeah.
But I counted that as a less than 3 second. He had 1 incompletion with pressure with under 3 seconds of time. So he got pressure, got rid of the ball. That's an incompletion. So really 2 plays where pressure led to a problem. The sack and the incompletion where he got rid of it. 2 out of 35 dropbacks.
And the screen is kind of dicey.
Yeah, the screen, I don't know what to do with the screen because
I get it.
you're letting him go.
I'm not even gonna.
That's the play design. And the bad snap is like, I don't know what to do there. That's still on the O-line.
I get the point.
Right?
I get the point.
So I sit there and I think the bad snap is one that they didn't count as a drop back. I'm guessing.
Yeah, because that's where the count would be off.
Yeah. So that's one of them at least. And it's possible I counted one where they had a penalty that it didn't end up counting in the official snap count. But so we're close. We're very close on our number here. Yeah. But to my point, you asked for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
He got that or got rid of the ball 31 out of 34 times.
Yeah, that dog should hunt.
Right? So when I'm sitting here, and listen, I get how it looks live.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're like, oh, he gets sacked. This hasn't been a good defensive line. They haven't been sacking anybody. I'm like, can the tackles get better? Absolutely. Can the offensive line in general get better? Absolutely. He's got enough time.
Yeah. Did you see the little quick screen to Hunter?
Yeah.
Did you see Pritchett?
Yeah. He did a really good job on
that. That's why you pay the big fella.
Yeah.
To get out there and be active.
Yes.
And help out.
Jenkins did a really good job.
Lindemeyer was really good.
Lindemeyer was
on that one with the little peel back seal, and Pritchett gets up the field and kind of walls. And Nebraska finally did what we've been asking them to do. When you get one-on-one with a guy,
break tackle,
and he won. He's funny. I talked about him for a long time after the game because he and Benny Mack and he was our pick to click on offense.
Hunter,
yeah,
good call.
He runs like a running back.
That's what Rhule said.
He kind of catches the ball like a running back too, though.
Okay.
He's not
the cleanest.
It's not the cleanest, most natural pass catcher.
Mm-hmm.
But man, and I'm telling you, if he could fight every day in practice, I think he would. Have I not said this from the jump?
You have, yeah.
He's an absolute menace.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, a menace.
So did you see the wide receiver screen? I think it was the exact same play that went for like 12 instead of the touchdown. Yeah. Did you see the lineman on that one too?
Oh yeah.
They also did a great job on that one.
And
they did a good job on those.
And quarterbacks know like when they've got to own it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why you saw a lot of the emotion you did from Dylan. It wasn't because he was frustrated about anything other than
I think he was frustrated with himself.
With himself.
Yeah. You saw him pat the chest a couple times. You see,
he never
saw him slam the ball a couple times.
He never saw the
on the pick.
I told Casey, I said, he never saw him play creep because he came off the under route and he sat. He probably expected him to go with it
to follow.
And I mean, it's pretty good savvy too.
Yeah.
By a defender, and those are ones where you're like, "What a terrible thought!" I'm like, "Hey, man, from his vantage point."
That should have been open.
He thought that was going to be.
Yeah,
open.
he thought it was going. He thought it was going to vacate. And he thought it was going to be open.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't want to shrug it off like no big deal. But I mean, he's your best player.
Yeah, and he's smart enough that that's 2 interceptions in 5 games.
Were you surprised at how fired up Coach Rhule was about giving up the last touchdown?
No, that seems very on brand.
Oh man,
that seems incredibly on brand.
He brought it up like 3 times.
Yeah. It sounds like the defense was just as pissed.
I'm like, shoot, man, was Julie going to Vegas with the 11 or what?
Well, hey, if he got it early in the week, it's 10.5. Yeah.
She's great. I highly doubt she's worried about the line.
Yeah, I think they're doing okay.
Yeah, it was that's crazy.
I just thought it was fascinating.
In 10 minutes of real life time, I've never seen the mood in the booth change more.
Yeah.
I'm talking left for dead. At 21-14 with the crowd booing.
3 minutes left in the third.
And
21-14.
Like 4 minutes later, it's 24-21.
Yeah.
And you're like, how?
Yeah. Well, and here's the funny thing that nobody's really talked about. They're like, oh, the wind, the switch and everything. The first drive came against the wind still.
Oh, I know.
The big pass to Barney came against the wind still.
And
that was his only completion for over 10 yards.
And here I am wanting to be greedy and getting the ball on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fudge, he's lucky he could cut the wind because Barney had to turn. He had to
turn a little,
turn the other way.
Yeah, because he was going this way. And
it kept him from
scoring,
being able to stay in stride. And I was like, if they don't score on this play,
EJ took care of it a couple plays later.
Yeah, finally, like the downhill.
Yeah,
seemed
like he broke through some arm tackles after he got through the initial line too.
One of the things I want you to always pay attention to because I say it a lot. I'm not sure. Like when you make moves, always be gaining ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not a big.
You don't like to jump back cut guys,
I'm not a big.
Lateral.
I'm not a big lateral guy either. Like if you're gonna, preferably if you're gonna be making guys miss, be gaining ground.
Yeah.
Right. So I like there was a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I thought
where
so.
I felt like the moves were more downhill than side to side.
That's probably something you don't love about Mosey at this point.
So, but the thing that I do like about him is he's not used to running in tight quarters from that distance a lot.
Yeah.
So that will come. That's a feel thing.
He also does not like to go down.
No,
which I appreciate.
It's his. I'm telling you, man. He's got Coach Rhule has a lot of guys on his team that have his personality.
Yeah.
And ideally all offseason, I said, that's all I really want.
Yeah.
Like the beautiful thing about having
that's what you kept asking with all the guys.
Coordinators, right?
Yeah.
Just go love on those guys and instill your person because he's gonna own it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna fight, and he's gonna move on.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, that fake punt call, that's on me. Right. I'll own that.
Yeah.
Hey, that call, like, he's gonna own it, move on, and just tell you we got to get. He's not gonna dwell in the negative. He just that headspace is not gonna occupy his time. And the better his team is, there's not one team in the last 15, 20 years that would have won that game.
Absolutely.
Not one.
Absolutely.
Not one. And I've seen them all.
And
there's not one team that would have won that game in the last 15
and
years.
several of them would have gotten blown out.
I mean, maybe.
I think there are several versions of this team over the last decade.
The Ohio State comeback kind of, I hearken back to that.
Sure. Yeah.
But
you also had the Ohio State
at least there were glimpses of,
yes.
Like, Nebraska had 77 total yards.
Yeah. They didn't break
up to that point.
They didn't break 100 yards until that last drive of the third quarter.
I think that even makes the Ohio State comeback when Bo was so pissed. Like, it even adds another layer. 77 total yards up to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's atrocious.
Horrifying. And they end up with 250-some.
I'm like,
but
in a quarter and a third.
Yeah. Barely even that. 20 minutes or 19 minutes, basically.
You know what I mean?
Time.
It's like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
I thought if we're going back historically, I was going back and trying to think. The Ohio State's a good one. That one, even though, like, you had the Braxton Miller injury, so there was, like, a very clear it felt like even though nothing had changed yet in the gameplay, it felt like a momentum shift when you lose your starting quarterback for the other team. So, like, that one, even there was really no moment for Nebraska where I was like, oh, now it was kind of came out of nowhere because they went down 21-14 and it felt like everything was sliding away. And then they said, all right, no more. Right. Like, so that's the weirdest feeling about this. It's like they stopped the momentum on their own, which I don't know the last time we've seen that. And we sort of saw it against Michigan too, because they got down early against Michigan.
They have showed some stones.
And that's a game that
they have definitely shown some nuts. So it's like over time, you're gonna win. You're gonna win more of those than you don't, especially if statistically you stay on the pace with the points per play.
Yeah,
on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
100%.
That was a game, and somebody sent this to me on Twitter. That was a game. That was the first time Nebraska had won.
Josh, I'm not talking about winning ugly. I'm not. I'm talking about the vibe.
Yes.
And being left for dead. Like, I don't know. It'd be hard to find a comp.
Yeah, just in terms of the energy.
2012, that was the team. That's the way that team played.
Yeah, that's how they were built.
Like, I don't know about that.
Somebody sent me a stat here. Couple of them actually. First time Nebraska has started 4-1 in 4-1 or better in back-to-back seasons since 13-14.
That would make sense.
Just a little nugget there. First double-digit win against a conference opponent with a winning record at the time they played since 2022 against Indiana.
Okay, I was going to say Wisconsin maybe.
35-21. I believe Wisconsin was even. I think they were 5-5.
Okay.
Before that, it had been 2017. So there was one double-digit win against a conference opponent with a winning record since 2017. And that was accomplished on Saturday as well.
And the funny thing is, this is kind of warped and twisted, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it right here. This is the mentality you want with this team. You don't want them slogging along and having 77 yards total offense, but you want your team to have this kind of resolve.
You want them to be able to overcome that
going forward.
Yeah.
Like, the better and the quicker they can dust the dirt off their shoulder, the better this team will be this year, because they could potentially be in a lot of these.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to be like, oh, crap.
Yeah. You want to be like, oh, we've seen this before.
You were down 10 to Michigan.
Yeah.
They got it back. They were left for dead against Michigan State.
They were up by 17 with 3 minutes left.
They got it back, right? So you don't want to get in the habit of playing like that, but you want to be in the habit of thinking of having that kind of mindset.
I mean, it's my Carson Beck thing, right? Do I like that he threw 3 first-half interceptions against Alabama last year? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do I like that he was able
he's a bounce back guy.
to ball out in the second half despite having that happen? Yes, because there's too many guys that you see just never quite get it back.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, let's not throw 3 first-half interceptions in general. Generally speaking, let's avoid that. But it's good to know that mentally that's something you're capable of.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Nebraska opened, they're favored, right? Was it 5.5? I saw 6.
I think it started at 6.5. TK told me it dropped to 4.5 by the start of the weekend. So I'll be interested to see.
Yeah, don't trust
that
TK.
ends
That's
up.
not. What does he die by the start of the weekend? It's
Or by the
Monday.
start of the week.
I was gonna say it's Monday morning. What's he talking about?
By the end of the week. Yeah, it's
I'm
now
gonna
5.5.
They have this easy thing where I can look and see opening lines. Not trusting TK. Although he did tell me I was spot on about something. He didn't elaborate, but I just was happy with the compliment, so I didn't.
I've got it at 5.5.
I'm going to go back.
I don't know where it opened, but you can help me.
Yes, it opened at 5.5. It is currently sitting at 6. I don't see any 4s.
TK, what are you talking about, man?
I don't see any 4.5s.
Kill me, TK.
I got FanDuel, DraftKings. I've got them all. Look at all the houses I have open.
Look at you. You got them going.
It's not one. There's not one 4.
TK, making me look bad out here.
It's fine.
It's all right.
I mean, he can be awful. Point. The dude
you're allowed to miss.
Nails.
You're allowed to miss sometimes. It's
70s
okay.
trivia. Yeah, it opened at 10-4 at 11:40, which was when it first came out. Open.
TK's calling to defend himself.
Is he? I know he is. Opened at 5.5.
All right, let's get to TK.
Let's see. I'm looking at line movements up until that point to see. No. I see no 4s. But I will listen.
Shane, you got him?
I will listen to my man Cooch.
Shane,
TK, what's up, buddy?
Shane,
Talk to me.
Put him on through. Where do we see the 4.5, buddy?
Are we gonna really hammer him over a point?
I just want to know where it came from. He probably saw it. I just want to know where.
Morning.
Hi, TK. I would have let you off the hook personally, buddy. I mean, you did. Like I said, you gave me a compliment. I was ready to move on.
Well, you acted like I'm not a degenerate gambler.
This might have been an offshore. This might have been an offshore book.
I only have one friend that I call a degenerate, and he's in my phone as that. That is Degenerate Aaron. He is a true degenerate. Like, are you looking at volleyball lines? Are we that kind of degenerate?
When I can find him.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys might. Okay. So I'll give you one better. He knows wrestling, college wrestling spreads.
That's wild. That's wild.
I still haven't found that.
I don't know where.
I still have some sort of dignity.
No, my man, he's wild. He's a good dude, though. Okay, what's up? Talk to me.
Okay, so it opened up at because I was up watching the Duke California game,
which turned in a dime. I told you they were
$6.5
begging you to bet Cal. Don't never take the easy money, man. Go ahead, TK.
Yeah, so I saw it at 6.5, and then I woke up and I was watering the lawn, so I was like, well, most of the other lines should be out, and it was at 5.5, and then at 11 it was at 4.5 when I left church. Trying to get those
one of the greatest calls of all time. I'm checking lines before I go sit in the storehouse and talk about my tithe. Attaboy, TK. Attaboy. Way to blow your witness.
You gotta make the Catholics money, you know. They need it.
Wow.
We're a dying population, DB.
Oh man, bless your heart.
Hey,
all right, so walk me
through. 1 second before this. Hey, I'm proud of Nebraska. Great, you guys are doing a great job talking about them. Who can block Ruben Bain? And please tell me where I can find them, because I can't find anybody.
Hey, listen, and he's got a partner.
Yeah,
we were talking about him last. He's
not a soul.
Yeah, he's an absolute terror, and I still think. Correct me if I'm wrong, or you think I'm wrong. They're the most complete team in college football, in my opinion.
As long as we're not counting head coaches.
Well, you asked me if that was the outline, and I said, yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. The only thing that gives me pause about Miami, besides Mario Cristobal,
is the fact that who are they going to play until the playoffs, you know?
So I wouldn't get hung up on that. Do you know why? Normally, I might enter, like a couple years ago, I'd probably be like, TK, you know what? Let's talk about that. But this is such a weird competitive year. I think you have to be very careful about fast forwarding, looking through schedules. I wouldn't do it, right? Because and it's not just on the heels of UCLA beating Penn State, but we've seen this every week.
Florida beating Texas, Virginia beating Florida State.
I don't get caught up in that. You better bring it every week, or you'll find yourself catching an L.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. It's just, I mean, they're going to have to bring their B game, and they'll beat some of these teams by double digits.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, the best thing about Miami is their O-line and D-line. They arguably have the best offensive line in the country. And that D-line will get after you. So they're pretty complete.
It ain't there's nobody even close for the offensive line.
Yeah.
At least Ohio State and Miami D-line is at least a toss-up.
Yeah, Ohio State defensively is they're pretty good. They're getting ready to border on elite here in a minute.
Okay, have a great day, fellas.
Thanks,
Appreciate you, TK.
Yeah, I said it last week. Pretty complete.
Yeah. The Cristobal of it all is a problem, but might be.
I need you to start taking your money.
Yeah.
On my behalf and play all my plays.
Okay.
Play them all. You're going to win 4 out of 6.
I got to go over to our friends at Warhorse.
How about if you would have who would I put on legit upset watch? I said, I hate to say it because I want to believe in their quarterback.
Texas.
But they are on legit upset watch. Yeah. They'll lose that game.
Can I just say that game played out in the funniest possible way for me? Because
Lagway did just enough for you to talk about, but not be good enough for you to have to get off his back.
Absolutely, and Arch was bad.
Dude,
just flat out bad.
How about him airmailing that TD?
Dude. Did you hear when he actually hit one and the broadcast crew was like, Archie finally did it? I was like, oh my God, that's embarrassing.
I said this last year, and I think people thought I was being hard on Dylan. I just was giving you a for instance.
Mm-hmm.
I said, when quarterbacks overthrow open receivers quietly, it's really demoralizing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sucks all the air out of everything.
You never give yourself a chance.
And the more you do it, the more disheartening it is. We just look at that as like,
almost had it.
Always give that guy a chance at a 50-50 ball because he'll at least convince himself that he could have made the play.
Yeah.
When you miss a guy, just miss him.
Yeah.
It kills your spirits.
And it probably makes your rest of your team a little pissy.
Listen, it took all the air out of Texas's sails. And listen, that team is better than having 2 losses. It's criminal.
Yeah, that team
they have 2 losses.
Way better than having 2 losses.
Yeah, that's a good football team. If they ever figured out the quarterback spot, they'd run the table.
Yeah. That's probably the best team in the country outside of Arch Manning.
It's crazy. Now their D-line is in the discussion.
You know the other part that I was going to bring up their D-line when TK was talking about them, but you know the other thing that's perfect about the way that game played out for me?
Yeah.
Now Florida's back in purgatory with Billy Napier.
There's no way DJ's telling the truth. Hey, did you see Shane? Put that in bold. I might have to put my glasses.
Oh, I believe that. He said, I had friends betting on South Korean ping pong during COVID. Talk about you have to look at last name. Some are legacy players. SMH. I love how he's going with the South Korean ping pong legacies. That's incredible. Listen,
I think anybody was looking for anything during COVID.
Just anything to do. I'm not going to lie to you. I had
stores closed by March.
I had a
minus 165, 6.5.
When will stores open back up? I think we're up by July. No. So I literally had, we'll take a break after this so that the producers don't kill me. But
hey, I need for Josh to get Mick ready to go.
The funniest thing was me and a couple buddies had like a Zoom watch party of KBO baseball during COVID because we just wanted to hang out. So we're all like having our own individual drinks in front of our computers, watching Korean baseball at like midnight. And it was like, what is happening right now? What's going on with our life? We tried to play like group online poker. It was ridiculous. It was so dumb.
Just wanted a friend.
Yeah, listen, we're just trying to hang out.
Got a friend.
I didn't know you as well back then. Otherwise, I just would have called you.
Been like, hey, want to come to my COVID party?
Just be like, hey, buddy,
I'd have been like,
you want to hop on Zoom, watch some Korean baseball?
I'd have been like, no, stop calling me.
We're like, all right, DB, whatever you say, bud.
Stop calling me.
Let's take a quick break here. Coming up next, we got Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald at 9 o'clock. We'll talk to Cynthia Frelund of the NFL Network. It was a interesting weekend in the NFL as well.
It was, I mean, just how you drew it up, right? Bills losing at home. And
guys, football might be hard.
Dude, how about all the comeback double-digit wins?
I don't know, man.
I think there were 5.
Yeah. I think football might be hard.
Dude, college football was a cluster.
Dude, it just a total mess. I
wonder how Vegas is doing.
They've got to be getting crushed, right?
No, because if you like favorites,
I would say you're the line, and they've been pretty good on your stinky lines too. So
go DB.
Well, hey, like I said, we're gonna have T-shirts, Team DB. Jacob said he wants one.
Somebody else asked me at the stadium if they said that they'd rock the T-shirts. I was like, man, you just never know who's listening.
We're gonna sell some Team DB shirts. Don't worry, we'll get you a cut. It'll be good. Sam McKewon coming up next year on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, and then we had the punt return, the other punt return for a touchdown. Unfortunately, came back, but we came out. We said we were going to block a punt. Credit to Jameer Khan. Like he prepared all week to block that punt. We told the team he's going to block the punt. Not we hope he blocks the punt. Hey, go block the punt. We said he's going to block the punt. He blocked the punt. Carter scored the touchdown. Should have scored again the second one. So, and you know what? I don't care about the punt. If I'm being really honest with you guys, the punt fake was the right call. Like I'm saying, like we're going to put the ball in our guys' hands with a chance to make plays, and we still even had him stopped on that drive. It was 4th and 4. We came unblocked. We trust our defense, and so. We're not going to make our decisions based just on the results. We trust our players, and that's the biggest thing. That game right there, Sam, that was UCLA to me last year. That felt like it at the half. It felt like come on, guys. And you know what? They went after it. And, they didn't just sit back. We just kept battling and fighting. That's been my challenge to our guys. 60 minutes of us playing hard is going to be hard for teams to withstand. And in the end, it's basically a 17-point win. Think about that. We're losing at the end of the third quarter. We win by 17. Unfortunately, we gave the last drive.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, no shot on the other teams I was on, but like the culture, I feel like they are part of our culture too. So like throughout the whole year, like all the years, Nebraska has grown to become a winning program, especially with Coach Rhule and the way the players have taken on the culture and taken on the standard and the process that we do. We have pride in it, so it shows on the field. And it took a long time, but I'm glad the results are showing.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be like that in the Big Ten. Did Penn State lose to UCLA? Yes. So, I know I say it and everyone kind of rolls their eyes at me, but this is what every week's going to be like in the Big Ten now, right? Like you're going all over the country. Every game's going to be a battle. There was the win obviously had somewhat of an effect on both teams today. You can see even the punt game, like just the field position, like we kept hanging the ball up and it was going 25 yards. Part of the reason why we went for the fake punt, I called it the fake punt. That's not on Eck. That's on me, so I'll take responsibility for that. And thought we had a great shot at a big play, and just their kid made a nice play. So credit to them.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Don't forget, if you're on the roads this morning, keep those eyes up and phones down. Don't get distracted, especially with the rain. Be careful out there. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We are joined now by Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, how you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
We are hanging in there, man. How's that plush green grass with all this rain? Is the McKewon household, the grass looking pretty sharp, Sam?
Yeah, it is. It's green. I don't know that it's sharp.
It's green. It's got right.
It's a good start.
Yeah, right color. Clear. Like I don't. Whatever God does with the grass, God does. Like I don't do anything to the grass. I don't spend a dime on fertilizer. That's just, so. What I'm saying is that it is what it is. That's not where I choose to put my energy. I have bandwidth of life, and that doesn't take up any. I do mow. It is not just wild, but that's about it.
Yeah. All right, understood. 55 total snaps. Did it seem like more or less than that for Nebraska offensively?
It seemed about less, I guess. Yeah, I mean, for so much of that game, they didn't really touch the ball. Because they were. I mean, they had a drive that lasted one play. They had a drive that was basically taken up by a block punt.
Because Michigan State only converted two third down, so it's not like
they had 2 for 15,
2 for 14.
Like
I thought 50. Yeah. I was surprised. I thought 55 seemed low until you go back and kind of walk yourself through it emotionally.
Well, they had opportunities on short fields, and they weren't able to. Well, they did get it done on a couple times. They had a short field at the 20 or whatever late in the game, and I think they scored in 2 plays. So, there were moments where the offense, especially in the fourth quarter, was very efficient. And late third, early fourth, where they made plays. I mean, they had a 1-play drive for 59 yards, and hey, those count. Like we don't discount those because it didn't last 6 minutes. Big plays are big plays, no matter who makes them. In that case, it was Isaiah Hunter and Justin Evans, but you'll take it. And points are points. And so in this game, Nebraska averaged 6.86 yards a point, and that is incredible numbers. That's like the lower the number, the better that is, by the way. And that's an incredible number. That's like an Iowa level number. Iowa scoring a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown and 2 touchdowns and 2 other touchdowns and having 150 yards, kind of incredible. So you will take it. Points are points. And there's things about Saturday that actually lead you to be more optimistic.
See, I agree.
About Nebraska than less.
I agree.
But the sacks are a problem. And they are a core across the season demoralization thing, and your quarterback can get hurt, and he can't. I'm glad, obviously, glad that Dillon did nothing more than his helmet coming off happened on the one play.
That was crazy. That's crazy. They missed that face mask. Maybe that's what the crowd was booing at. I don't know.
Well, the crowd was definitely booing at that for sure. And there have been a couple of times where the crowd has been booing either at what they perceive to be a bad decision by the coaching staff or the officials, and maybe the players perceive it as being booed at by booing at the players.
Yeah, they I'm just telling you, they're going to defend their coach. They don't care. They don't discern between it. They just hear the booing. We couldn't care. They couldn't care less.
Right. I think in that case they were booing at the refs.
Yeah, I'm pro booing at refs for the record. I'm on board for that.
Right.
So I want to make that clear. And if there's any players listening, we're mostly booing at the refs, just for the record.
Now all that said, it should have been a penalty and It should have been a face mask. He never should have gotten up. Stay down.
Yeah.
Like once the ball is down, especially on 3rd and 27 or whatever, stay down. Like don't put yourself in a position. I mean, he was the ball's coming out. He's trying to pick it up, and he's got 4 people coming at him. I'm like, dude, you're a tough. He's tough. There's no question.
Yeah, he's way tough.
But man, you're too important. and it's 3rd and 27. It's not the end of the game. So you got to stay down there. So, there's some things there where he's got to continue to be mindful of his value to the team. And TJ Latif's a good player, but no, Dillon's got to stay healthy for them to do all the things they want to do. So some of this is they got to figure the sacks out because you can't put him in harm's way this often. And it's demoralizing. I think they got very frustrated internally over there with the sacks. And I think he was probably frustrated with the situation. So that's a deal where interceptions, nobody wants them. But sometimes you throw an interception, and it happens, and it's human. You don't want to get sacked 6 times a game. And so far in Big Ten play, they've gotten sacked 6 times a game, and Maryland can rush the quarterback. So Nebraska's
so far they've been able to stop the run too. That's interesting.
Yeah, Maryland's defense is good. I don't think they've faced an offense as good as Nebraska's. Wisconsin's offense obviously isn't good. Washington's offense, I think, is still coming along.
This is a little sleepy, wasn't it, before they woke up? But they did rip off 24 unanswered.
They did. And they have a good running back, and they have a good quarterback, and they have a good receiver. So Washington has the –
I mean, what they score? 21 in the 4th?
21. Yeah.
Sam, can I ask you a question here? Because you said something interesting about kind of throwing interceptions versus taking sacks. If you're
our crack statistician, he's ready for you, Sam.
I'm genuinely curious because if I'm sitting here, I go, I think I'd rather I don't know what the number of sacks is per interception that I would prefer to take. And I'm not trying to be facetious here at all. I really am not.
No, that's it.
I think there's a number where I'd be like, yeah, I think I'd rather just see it, put it up there and give your receivers a chance. I don't know if we've reached that number yet for me personally. I'm frustrated to a certain degree with Dillon not getting rid of the ball the way or in time that he needs to. But I don't know if is there a number in your mind sacks wise where you're like, yeah, if you're giving up that many sacks, you probably just got to throw some 50-50 balls.
Well, it depends on the nature of the sacks. And I think some of the ones that he's been in have been, there's some you can't prevent. There's some where they bring pressure and maybe he doesn't see the hot route or whatever it would have been. That's a little different. But there's been some sacks in here where I honestly, I think we're not even talking 50-50 balls. We're talking putting it in a tight area and putting it a little bit in harm's way and just let it rip. You got a good arm. Give it a shot. This is also true down by the end zone.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Just let it rip. And I understand.
I don't know, fellas. Coaching me is full-fledged cringe mode. Not in the red zone. Get the points. I'm not a let it rip red zone guy.
I'm a don't take a sack, but throw it out the back of the end zone.
Gentlemen, There's a reason why the Chiefs didn't win any Super Bowls with Alex Smith, and they've won 3 with Patrick Mahomes.
They won a lot of games, though.
That direct correlation.
They did win a lot.
That is a super Stretch Armstrong.
Sam, let me ask you this, because I want to stay on.
Yeah,
they're both equally good athletes. Alex Smith,
pre or post putting my leg back together. What do you mean?
Well, that was it. That was
pre. That was pre.
All right.
Alex Smith was a pretty good quarterback, though, just for the record. Like, he was pretty good.
Say is Alex Smith a good quarterback? Didn't throw a touchdown. He would not do it. Patrick Mahomes, one of his great superpowers, is what he will put it, and he's able to do it. But he puts the ball
you think to yourself,
in harm's way, makes plays.
You think to yourself, in Kansas City scoring touchdowns in the red zone, boy, he really fit that thing in there. That's not what I think. I'm like, that's a pretty nice play design. That's a really nice throw, and that guy's open. That's his 15th shovel pass for a touchdown. Like, what are we talking about?
I love a shovel pass.
Like, I don't see these tight window throws in the red zone.
I think there's a combination of neat play calls that don't work as well as they used to, incidentally, because teams have caught up to them. But also just Mahomes is really, really good at and willing. I think the willingness is part of what makes you good. Now, again, I'm not saying that you throw the ball. I'm not saying you do what Jeff Sims did against Minnesota. That's not what I'm saying, because that play wasn't there. So don't do that. But I am saying that, like, Dylan actually has the ability to make some throws that other quarterbacks Nebraska has had do not. And there are times, and it's not even just.
I'll rock with that.
I think
he's capable.
Just throw the ball.
Yeah, he's capable.
Hey, trust your arm and don't. I think Rhule kind of alluded to it. He's trying to protect the ball, and I appreciate that.
Especially with the potential of points, right? I respect the hustle.
I think
on the other side of it is DJ Lagway. So DJ Lagway is an interception machine. He is. And I think he's thrown 8 through 5 against LSU. Again, that's on the other side, and that's too much. But, DJ Lagway 3 or 4 times a game makes a play that beats Texas. And so, like, part of what Florida needs to do is they need to bring DJ Lagway back toward the middle a little bit. And I think Dylan needs to be a little bit more, okay, I can make this throw and just throw it. But that's not to say, so some of this is on the offensive line for sure. But I think it's a little too easy to say it's all Donovan Raiola and the Lions' fault. I don't think that. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah,
Sam,
it's not.
I'm glad you brought that up.
It's not. The whole Uncle Donnie thing drives me up the wall.
So and this is not a trap. I'm assuming you didn't listen to the first hour at all. Is that fair?
I didn't. I've been moving around.
No, that's perfect. No, that's fine, because I'm going to bring something up, and I didn't want to spoil it for you. So. I'm glad you brought up the offensive line and the Donovan Raiola thing. If I had to ask you, I asked DB this earlier. If I had to ask you, how long do you want your offensive line to give you as a minimum to give your quarterback a chance? What number would you give me?
Well, I mean, that depends on the play itself.
Let's keep it simple.
3 or 4 seconds.
All right. So I used 3 seconds. I charted this rewatching the game last night. I charted how many times that Dylan Raiola either had 3 or more seconds to throw the ball, or he got rid of the ball in fewer than 3 seconds. So I had him at 34 total dropbacks for the game. In 31 of those, he either had more than 3 seconds or he got rid of the ball in under 3 seconds. He only took 1 sack in which there was less than 3 seconds of time. So, like, when people are talking about the offensive line, and yes, can they get better? Absolutely. Are there some things that I'd like to see a little bit cleaned up? For sure. But this is not what we thought it was while watching the game live. It's not what I thought it was watching the game live. Yeah. Like, it wasn't just everyone else. Like, I was like, hey, I think he's got to get rid of the ball a little bit more, but I didn't realize it was, I mean, we're talking 31 out of 34 and literally just 1 sack when he just did not have time.
Yep. I think that's a really good point. And, he had the play, for example, when he did the underhand pass, and that was a screen right on him right away. It was.
So, like, I don't know what to do with that one because you're supposed to let
Right.
that guy go.
Right. And so there's moments like that, or they would motion a tight end over, and technically Lindenmeyer becomes the tackle, sort of, and Gatula's blocking down, and Lindenmeyer's not getting the guy, and like, so there's moments where Michigan State did some things that I think you tip your hat to them, and they got it done. Now Holgorsen, toward the end of the game, he made his chess move, and well, he actually made it to begin the second half, where they started throwing that little screen. They threw one to Hunter, the one to Barney. If Barney doesn't drop it, and it wasn't perfect throw, but if Barney doesn't drop that probably goes. And then Hunter scores on a 59-yard touchdown, and that's Holgorsen's chess move, and it was a good one. It worked. And so, Nebraska made its moves, Michigan State made its moves, and I think, again,
I thought Dana was exceptional halfway through the second half. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, so they kind of made their move back. I'm sure there were things in the first half. Again, you got to tip your hat to Michigan State. They did some good things defensively that maybe, frustrated or confused Nebraska. And then vice versa. Nebraska's defense did some things, obviously, to Childs he was confused. He didn't see it very well. There were some open players that he didn't throw it to.
But Sam, let me ask you something about this, because I'm always interested in like the mental part of it and the game within the game. Did you notice how many conversations Childs was having with the officiating crew? I felt like he was rattled early, and he just continued with the back and forth with the officials. I thought it was kind of awkward.
Yeah, it was. And then he had, everyone saw the late conversation he had with Nick Marsh on the sidelines, but he had other ones too with his receivers. Yeah,
I don't think that was his I don't think that was as contentious as people made it out to be. Like that, I think that's one guy encouraging another guy as a competitor that there'll be better days. I didn't have any problems with that.
No, I think so. I mean, I think the receiver is saying he's open, and you could have. I don't know exactly what his health. I mean, he went out for a couple different plays. I don't know what his health was fully there in the second half or after he went out again. It was, Nebraska's defense. If I'm Malik Washington, who I think is going to be a real nice player at Maryland, he's coming along. He's a true freshman.
You surprised at how little he runs? I get it. He's black. We think that he does, but he doesn't like to. What? What's wrong with that? Oh, Sam's my boy. Sam,
yeah, I'm a little surprised, but mostly because I don't think you're going to throwing it 50 times in the Big Ten, no matter who it is.
Do you know what they ran the ball for against Washington?
I don't know. 12 yards
out of the backfield. So Williams had 26 yards rushing for 2-2, and Ray ran for 17 at 4-1. I mean, between the backs, they had like 18 carries for 48 yards. It's incredible.
Yeah. So after the game, I listened to all of the losing coaches' press conferences in the Big Ten.
Bless your heart.
Me too. While I make food on Sundays.
Ravi thinks I'm crazy. Like it's so telling.
I listened to the losing ones, not the winning. Anyway, so what he said is that a lot of those plays are RPOs, and Washington needs to is making the decision not to give the ball. And that may be something they recalibrate this week. I really don't think you want him throwing the ball 50 times against Nebraska. I don't think that's going to go well for him. Nebraska is gonna get its sacks, so they'll get one or two of those. But then they're also going to muddy up the picture. I think Maryland will probably try to run the ball a little bit more. I think everybody's going to try to run the ball against Nebraska, and not just because of Nebraska's run defense. I think at this point, what Nebraska's putting on tape is, we don't really want to mess with these guys.
I was going to say,
aren't they that much deep? And
aren't they just avoiding the pass defense as much as anything else?
And listen, if there's plays to be made, it's the secondary and second level fitting in the run game. Like that's kind of been that's the
bugaboo.
That's the bugaboo.
If there's anything.
But let me ask you something here, Sam, because this is interesting. Maryland doesn't run it. Malik Washington doesn't really want to run it. Maryland is good against the run so far, right? And we get into the opponents, but
good defense.
Nebraska is still their top 30. I have to look at it again this morning to see if anything's changed. But yesterday, they're top 31 in points per play given up on defense, and they're top 21 in points per play scored on offense. If those two things remain the same, you're going to win way more games than you lose when you're operating with that kind of offensive and defensive efficiency. Yet when we talk, we seem a little on the negative side. Which do you think, is it sustainable in your opinion?
If they can cut down on the sacks, yes. Yes. Yeah, I think that's the big one. Is so far, you correct me if I'm wrong, they haven't lost any fumbles on the sacks yet. And
he got the one
back
back
against Cincinnati.
Yep, I think that's correct.
They haven't lost any yet. And they got to cut. They got to cut down on those, because I think that's your quarterback's gonna get frustrated.
Well, he can also get rid of the ball too, right? Some of that's on him.
It is. Yes,
I thought,
I think he know. I haven't I get the impression
that he knows.
DR knows when it's a line thing and when it's a him thing.
I also thought, for what it's worth, I thought in the first couple drives he did a better job climbing the pocket. Then he went away from it, and then late he sort of started doing that. Like, the more comfortable he gets going forward,
that's the key.
He's gonna be fine. Like,
and he's a tough kid.
And we saw that difference from Michigan to Michigan State, where he didn't go forward at all against Michigan. Like, it's gonna take a little time, but I think he's aware, and I think it's getting better. Maybe that's more hopeful than thinking, but that's what I saw at least.
No, I think that's absolutely right. And he did. He made plays with his legs early. That's why they scored.
He finished. Do you guys realize he finished in the positive rushing the football?
Which is wild.
You want odd stat of the year. After
He
five
did,
after
yes.
5 sacks, he finished in the positive rushing the football.
He did.
That's
I
like
the team ran for -15 on the one play, but yeah.
That's a bad snap. That's a bad snap. That's not on me.
A bad snap.
That's,
yeah,
it
was.
I don't know how you.
Up. I was like, why? Anyway, so some of it is that, I think. So one of the other things that I feel like I saw watching the game again, but also during the game, is that Michigan State matched some of the routes underneath, and they took away the safety valve.
Yeah, they played a ton of man under. It's just the one high look, and they were like, play catch,
Right.
if you can. I didn't mind what they did.
Throw the ball downfield. This is why we got to let it rip, because if they're gonna take away the safety valve, throw the ball. You got to throw. You got to give Dane, somebody, whether it's Dana or it's Dylan, throw the ball to Dane Key and see what he can do. And I don't know that Dane got the ball thrown to him. Maybe once. You got to throw the ball. Like, you scheme him into a play. They schemed Hunter into 2 screens, and he did well with both.
The positive though, Sammy Mack, is if you're defending Nebraska, who are you trying to take away in the passing game? Like, that's the conundrum. Another 7 guys caught balls today.
Am I crazy? I probably try and take Barney away first.
Okay.
Listen, I get that leaves some.
I don't know if there's a wrong answer. I think early on it was Key, right?
Yeah, for sure it was Key early.
He was the most heralded, and he was the most productive early.
But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Here's the way I would say it. This will sound kind of odd the way I say it, but I think part of what they're trying to take Dylan away, because I think part of what they're doing
without the ability to give up the big play.
We watched over, these defensive corners are like, well, we just watched this quarterback over 4 games pick people apart, and he's doing what he's being asked to do, which is throw it underneath, let guys make plays, make guys miss. Well, we're going to take those guys away, and we're going to make them throw over the top.
And it's well documented how good he is against zone. He's like an 80% plus completion guy.
But for reasons, Cincinnati kind of let him do some of that. And obviously Akron and Houston Christian were much problem. And then even against Michigan, I thought he had success, and their defensive coordinator, he is a good coordinator, but he fancies himself a genius. So he was going to mix it up. He wasn't just going to do that. I thought Michigan State was a little bit more, no, we're just going to do what other teams tried to do to you last year. And I think Maryland will do the exact same thing. And I think Minnesota will do the exact same thing. And I think Northwestern will do the exact same thing. So part of it is, I think he's going to get a lot of the same defenses, and Nebraska's receivers need to win, which I think they probably are a little bit more than they're throwing it to him. And he's just got to let it go. He's just got to say, okay, you know what? I'm me. I'm him. And I'm going to make that throw and throw the ball.
Wow.
So it's interesting. Like he is an excellent quarterback in a number of ways. You could almost say he could stand to be about 3% more reckless, if that makes sense. Like he could really stand to just let it go and like, here's the way I put it. Tommy Armstrong lost some games for Nebraska. He did. He made some mistakes. You know what he did, though? He won big games. And part of the reason he did.
Well, wasn't he the quarterback everybody dubbed the YOLO guy? Because he would try to fit it in there?
Yes, he was. But here's the thing. He's the last quarterback to win big games. And the reason he was able to do it, in part because he had an elite confidence in himself.
Yeah.
And so who beat Michigan State and Oregon? He did. Who beat Michigan at the Big House? He did. Like, there's something to be said for that. Now, there's other things to be said for the mistakes that he would make. And he probably cost them the game against Iowa in 2015. Maybe so. But he won you games too. And so did Taylor Martinez, who made lots of mistakes and maybe lost Nebraska a few games. But there's two sides of that. The thing that Dylan doesn't lose you games. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And if he makes a mistake, and said he's almost a little overcautious, but he's got the arm to win you games. And it's not, there's going to come a moment this season where what they need him to do is to trust that he can do the things that he's capable of doing and just go do it.
Hey, let me ask you.
The throw to Barney, right? Like at the end of the third, that's what you're talking about?
Yes, that was a great play.
Yeah. Let me get.
And he had no choice. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, got to do it.
For it.
Yeah.
Can't, Emmett Johnson's not getting a first down. It was here comes the pressure. He had to react, and look what happened. He made his best throw of the game. That's what happens sometimes when you don't have a choice and you got to throw it. You're down 7. There's nothing to protect in that moment, and he made a play. And that's a lesson of like, when my back's against the wall, look what I did. Now sometimes I just got to act like my back's against the wall a little bit more often and go make a play.
Sam, let me get you out of here on this. Of Nebraska's remaining, or these next 3 opponents, and everybody's put all sorts of referendums on what the record's got to be.
Yeah.
Which team coming out after Saturday, and you may want to factor in opponents, right? UL, Monroe, Washington, and Ohio State, you think is most indicative of what will happen against Nebraska? Not everybody. A lot of people are like, oh, Nebraska's run defense, this, that, and the other. Northwestern ran for 246, I think, against Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Minnesota goes for 2.7 a carry, I think 68 yards against Ohio State. And Maryland, that I mentioned earlier, ran for 55 against Washington. Of those next 3 opponents, which of those stats do you think will be most trend-like or indicative of what happens against Nebraska?
I think Maryland will try to run it more.
Do you?
And I do. I think so. I think because of what we just said earlier, that putting the ball, asking your freshman quarterback to throw it 49 times against Nebraska's pass defense is a recipe for sacks and interceptions. So I think they're probably going to try to be a little bit more cautious. Minnesota.
It's hard to fit in the run game out of quarters too. So, Nebraska they'll continue to work on that.
Minnesota, PJ Fleck's press conference, he was very honest. After 2 minutes, he's like, we don't have anything else to talk about. They kicked our butts. We couldn't do anything.
Do you know what Lindsey threw for per attempt?
3, 4 yards.
Yep, 3.
Yeah.
Oof.
So, And the other thing you said is that Ohio State's defense is different on every snap. I mean, the leader in the clubhouse for the Burroughs Award, and I wouldn't have predicted this before the season, is Matt Patricia. And what they're doing there is very high level, complex stuff. I watched some of the Ohio State Minnesota game. Anyway, Minnesota knew they weren't going to win that game, and they weren't. Yeah, anyway, I think we'll learn a lot more about Minnesota this week when Darius Taylor is off his pitch count, so to speak, and he's back running the football. We'll learn a lot more about that team. And I've said this many times about Minnesota. By about mid-October, they figure themselves out, and that's about the time Nebraska rolls into town and gets beat. So that's still a worrisome game. And then Northwestern, you got to beat Northwestern. It's as simple as that. They're deficient in talent. They are deficient in talent, and they should not beat Nebraska. They shouldn't. That's just a game you don't lose. They'll probably go to Penn State this week and lose by 3 touchdowns. Penn State's really down in the mouth. So Northwestern plays very hard and they're smart, all that, but they don't have the players that Nebraska does, and they should not.
All right,
they should not win.
Let me get you out of this, Sam. You strike me as a big Rufus guy. Tell me something good. Big 70s music guy. Of these 4 Big Ten games, which one's going to tell you the most good? Iowa at Wisconsin, Indiana at Oregon, Michigan at USC, or Ohio State at Illinois?
The third one.
Michigan at USC?
Yeah, I think of all the games, that's probably the most interesting one to me.
That's 6:32, champ.
Mm-hmm. Like, watch that one. I think that one's interesting to me because of the contrast in the coaches, the styles. USC really needs to win it.
SC is favored.
Yeah, I understand that.
I do not, but
they'll get a good crowd. That's one thing, is they'll have a real crowd for that game, which is, Michigan will have their fans there too. Indiana, Oregon, I don't know what that game's going to be. That's my Big Ten picks column this week, and I'm going to have to go back and watch what Indiana does and how they do it. And they're a weird team, I think, to try to play, and Oregon will obviously do what Oregon does, but Indiana's defense is really good. So I don't know. And then what's the other one? Iowa, Wisconsin. I think that's for Luke Fickell's job. And then Ohio State, Illinois.
That's at home. It's in Madison, and Wisconsin is getting points.
Nobody knows who the quarterback's going to be. I'm actually surprised there's a line on it.
Yeah.
Because Iowa doesn't.
Right now,
I think
I
Iowa knows going into the week.
Ravi and the rest of our listeners are the degenerates. I think it's 3.5 Hawkeyes. At least it was this morning.
It's 3.5 Hawkeyes.
I'm surprised there's a line on it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Maybe the odds makers know that Gronowski's going to be back, but that's a 10-9, real 1975 kind of game. So I don't. And now, for what it's worth, I thought Wisconsin played valiantly against Michigan. I think they played very hard. But so much is going to be on the Iowa game. They got to win it. If they don't win it, I think they're going to really struggle down the stretch. And then Ohio State should beat Illinois, but who knows?
The Big Ten is. You feel like you know more about the Big Ten or the SEC?
I spend more time on the Big Ten, so I know more about the Big Ten. And
I think
the
I know more about the SEC.
I do too.
How do we know?
I think I know more about the SEC.
We don't know Missouri. We don't know Missouri yet. We don't know them. I have more SEC teams ranked. I know that, but we don't know Missouri. We don't know them yet. We learned a lot about Texas, but now they go play Oklahoma.
I think you learned a lot about Texas A&M.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M is really good.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Yeah,
they're a good team, and they're going to be tough to beat at home. They've got to take some. They got Auburn and Mississippi State at home, and now who do they play on the road?
Well, I'll give you a toughie. You know who I'm curious to see if they're that good defensively. I am curious about Ole Miss.
I think LSU's just
Ole Miss gives me Oregon vibes. Like, I need to see Oregon against a good offense before I tell you Oregon's defense is as good as the stats say. That's kind of how I feel about Ole Miss.
Yeah, I agree with both of those statements.
Right? I mean, it's
absolutely.
Sam, to answer your question, our LSU or A&M gets at Arkansas, at LSU, at Missouri, and at Texas. So they've got it coming up.
Yeah. Boy, Missouri's going to ruin somebody's season.
Yeah, they've got it coming up here for sure. We'll find out about Texas A&M pretty soon.
At least early on, we know why everybody was making a big deal about Prabula leaving before the bowl game, because I was like, why are we talking about this?
Because he might be better than Aller.
He might be pretty good.
Yeah,
he
might be a better fit for what they're offering.
I think.
Yeah, Kolodnicki probably would swap.
I think
he can at least move and run.
I think that's 100% true that he's a better fit with Kolodnicki.
Yeah. Well, Penn State's an interesting story now.
The James Franklin thing drives me up the wall because he's clearly raised your floor. And who do we think Penn State is? Are they national championship guys? Like, is that a national championship program every year?
They thought so this year for sure. Yeah,
I think it's this year they thought they were. I think that's the biggest problem.
I don't think Penn State's getting rid of him.
I was gonna say, Sam, you better be careful because
it can go bad.
It can go bad in a hurry at that place.
But he might leave.
Just feeling underappreciated.
Very, very sensitive, easily. Oh yeah. He just kind of Like I think he actually takes this stuff very hard and very sincerely, and sensitive is the wrong word. I think he genuinely feels bad when they lose. And but I don't mean
I think
all coaches feel bad.
People laugh at me. I think it's a hard job. I think the expectation levels and versus what I think they're capable of all the time are off by a ways.
Right. And his record against top 5 teams underlines that. And I think I at this point, I think he's gotten to the point, some of his answers would indicate that he's at a, you know what? Yeah, you know what? It is me. Like, you can just tell. And he doesn't actually mean that, but like he's the tone of like, well, it's not just a narrative.
Yeah, sometimes you just get tired of fighting,
Yeah, like if you're not going to appreciate me, I'll go somewhere that does.
Go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. Yeah, he could.
He could go to USC. Like, if Lincoln Riley is not the answer there, you can get better players at USC. And they've got a GM there who's not going anywhere. The GM's staying whether Lincoln Riley's there or not. And so, you could go to USC. You could go to other places because other jobs will be open. I think we're going to see an obscene number of open jobs. I've talked to my colleagues about this, and they look at me like I'm lunatic. I'm like, I think Wisconsin could be open. I think Michigan State could be open. I think Rutgers could be open.
If Michigan State comes open, that's ludicrous. Jonathan Smith is a good coach.
I'm not saying he isn't. I'm saying that, like, there's a lot of people that now that we've made this shift into the new era where so much of what you've got to do is where there's a handful of very, very wealthy people believe in you.
Mm.
And it's money. And I'm not, look, Matt Rhule is a good coach, football. He's a ball coach. But Rhule has done such a good job with the institutional and managerial things.
1,000%.
Yeah.
That's why it's so crucial Nebraska keep him.
Dude,
and that could become an interesting conversation. They got to keep him because he's so good at it that, like, you can't assume that the next person, if there was some other person,
even if they're as good at the football.
Three things.
The Giants said, we want you
to
come in and replace Brian Daboll. You cannot assume that someone would come in and do the work that Rhule's doing. You got to. I'm saying you kind of got to pay whatever you got to pay.
3 things, Sam. Why? I'll give you 3.5. Number 1, his wife loves it here. Number 2, he's tough. He's tough. Like, he's not gonna he's not gonna like give in to naysayers and critics and the whispering. He's competitive, and he's super bright in terms of understanding the collegiate landscape. Like, He's what we want to represent us. And I get the record's got to get to where we want it, but he has all the components of what we would gravitate towards as a state. I'm telling you. He loves this place. He's competitive and he's tough.
Yes, he's Nebraskans like his East Coast personality. Nebraskans actually like someone who can come in and articulate things in a tougher way than sometimes Nebraskans will. Here's my question. So let's say they win 9 this year, which I think they got a good chance of doing. The schedule's a dream. And going out to Penn State, if they're 6-4, you can win that game. Let's say they win 9. Let's say they win 10. What kind of extension are you willing to give him? Nebraska better be ready to answer that question.
Right. They should have given it to him last year. Now they're gonna have to sit down at the table.
Just write the check, homie. I don't care what it is.
So but what is the salary figure? The salary figure to me has got to be 7 figures.
You know what what would be cool, and I don't know, they won't do this, but because I don't think Coach Rhule wants to coach another 10 years. I think they should negotiate, hey, if you don't take another job and this is your place where, since you like it so much, we'll build in this. Can that be part of the deal? And he just says yes. Because he can do so many other things other than coach. Right? So just see if you can get him to say this will be his last job, and then if you do, then you pay him accordingly. That's what I would do.
Lifetime deal. Let's do it, homie. I'm in.
I'm telling you.
Listen, again, I'm not pushing back. Pick a number. I'm cool.
If he says I'm not questions of Rhule all the time, it's just people do not understand so Jonathan Smith is a good coach. I listen to the stuff up in Michigan. He does not have a relationship with the boosters.
I know.
So
it's the person. Yeah. There's some truth, but I'm telling you,
this is
Nebraskans. His Coach Rhule's temperament and how he attacks life. It's what you want as a state. He doesn't make excuses. He owns it. He works hard like that. It's what you want, man. It's what you want.
But he's good at making relationships with regular people. Like some ball coaches they're just remote as people. They're great coaches. They're great in the locker room, or they're great on the chalkboard, but they cannot go out and do the hobnobbing. And Rhule is good at that, and it is a crucial role now.
Yeah,
I think his coach in college, Joe Paterno, that wasn't his skill set. He wasn't going to go out and do that with the boosters. But now you've got to have relationships that are institutional and vertical, all the way to the top of the state government and all the way to the top of just, people who want to support your program. And he has that. And you have to, and Dannon does too. So Troy Dannon's got that skill set too. Got to keep those two.
Yeah.
And
I like Dannon quite a bit.
Got to keep them. Like, it's really important at this place. You probably could have just a ball coach at USC, maybe. And people would come around it and they'd love it anyway. You might be able to do that at Florida and have people come around it and be fine. At Nebraska, you need the person who can do all the things off the field, and they finally have somebody. So, like, this is going to become an interesting conversation, because if Nebraska wins 9 or 10 games, everybody's going to look and say, well, Nebraska hasn't been good in 20 years, and look at what he did. And I'm just saying, the Giants are going to fire their coach.
He's not.
And they might fire him today.
I don't know, man. So, I can't imagine him wanting to be back in the NFL.
Maybe not. But I'm just saying that, like, what happens though is all of a sudden somebody makes a call.
No, I get it. I get the point.
There will definitely be calls if they win 9 or 10. You're right.
Would you like to come coach the New York Football Giants?
I'm gonna get to Vivian Leona, and they're gonna be like, "No, we like it here. Tell your dad."
Right.
Tell your dad.
All those.
Tell your dad. Don't. We're not going anywhere.
And like Lane Kiffin's gonna have to go through the same thing. So, like, and apparently Lane Kiffin's daughter is part of the reason he's staying at Ole Miss, because she wanted to stay there, but he's gonna have to go through the same cycle again. If Alabama loses 3 games this year, Lane Kiffin's getting a phone call. Florida's going to call him. Texas might, that's just the way this thing works now.
Yeah.
And Nebraska just has to be constantly thinking ahead about, okay, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? What do we got to do? Because they got a good thing going.
Write the check. That's what you got to do. Sam McKewon, We appreciate the time as always, and good stuff. We appreciate the extra few minutes we got this morning too.
You bet. Take care.
That is Sam McKewon.
It's a lot of extra few minutes.
Yeah, it's a little
15
long.
of them.
Just a couple, If you've got a few extra minutes this Wednesday and Thursday, starting October 8th at noon, make sure you give to the Wear Black, Give Back campaign for UNO's 6th annual Giving Day. Last year, generous supporters provided almost $1 million to support students and programs at UNO. This year, they're trying to reach 6,500 individual gifts. You can support scholarships, colleges, athletics, student assistance, and more. Mark your calendars. Wear Black, Give Back on October 8th through the 9th, and every $75 gift gets a free UNO belt bag. It's givingday.unomaha.edu. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, it was the way the play was designed. It was a sprint out. So I just knew that I wanted to get out and make something happen. And Jacory ran a great route, and they cut him loose, and then we made that play, and then kind of felt from there. We were rolling. So, we just stood in there. We kept swinging. They kept swinging, and it feels good to get the win with making those plays down the stretch. Well, he came over to me in the middle of the game and was like, "This is me and you," and that struck me, and then we went out there and scored, and he was just trying to tell me to take my energy because I was juiced up to the team and everybody. So what I told him, I said, "Coach, I don't know if I can say this, so I won't say it, but I said, I got blood in my eyes, we're going to win this football game, and I wasn't going to let it slip away." And so, it's something you train for in the whole offseason. You wait for a moment like that, so you got to jump on it when you get it.
It was huge. I feel like we've been talking about it all week, and we just we already said it was going to be a block punt by Jameer Khan. That happened. We said I'm going to take one back this week. That happened, but it seemed like I called back. No bad towards Carter. Still my guy. They was blocking at a high level on the perimeter on special teams, and just ready to get in and get better from it. Yeah, I always feel good every time I make a play, or anytime a play happens. I feel like it's a momentum builder, and I felt like after that drop pass I had, I was like, I got to go make it up. You know what I'm saying? So when I made that catch, it was a proud moment. I wish I would have scored, but hey, we still came out with the dub, so I'm proud of the guys.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
41-yard line of the Spartans, 4 wide, 3 receivers, bottom side left. Frazier the single back right. Snap to Childs. 4-man twisting rush. Childs hit as he throws near left. It's intercepted. Picked off. It's Deshaun Singleton again. Making another second pick of the game for Deshaun.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, if you've got any auto body issues, make sure you call our friends over at Dingman's. They've got 20 straight years being voted first place best of Omaha for auto body repair, and there's a reason for that. They're locally owned and family owned and operated right here in Omaha. They've been in business for almost 30 years, and they invest in cutting-edge technology to make sure that you've got the best experience possible, not just with their expert staff, but also with their equipment as well. Go to dingmans.com to learn more and make an appointment today. DB,
what's up?
Let's get to our we got to update our quarterback draft here.
Yeah.
Rico, you got that on the – can you throw that on screen for me, bud?
I don't even know why we're trusting the math skills of two people that are in the hunt. So I always have to go back and double-check their work.
Well, I mean, I trust their work because I'm in first place by a wide margin, so that has to be right. KB is – Austin Simmons has done KB pretty dirty because he was in second all the way through last week, and he is now in last place.
I'm just happy to be out of the cellar.
Out of the basement. You and TV are fighting in for, what is that, fourth place there?
Yeah. And again, even in a win where they score 42 points, which wasn't all offense, so I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Nico still only gets me 12 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's all right, though.
We'll just keep playing ball.
Still more than DJ Lagway. That's good.
Yeah.
That's quality.
TK's saddled with Klubnik and Drake Lindsay. At least Klubnik snapped out of it.
Yeah, it was a tough start to the season for our guy, Kane Klubnik.
I wonder how much of Drake Lindsay TK watched. You need to go back and check that game out.
So I haven't rewatched that one. I haven't watched that one yet. That one didn't make the cut on live watch. So that's going to be a BTN and 60 action right there.
Yeah.
But so, you know what's funny too is Drake Lindsay was a replacement pick for Retzloff.
I know.
So I mean, he went 0 for 2 there.
He'll be all right.
So yeah,
I somehow am gonna win this.
I don't think so. Lenore Sellers and Nico are gonna be an anchor. That's rough.
I'm somehow gonna win it.
That's 33% of your squad just trying to drag you down to the depths of the ocean.
I just need a game. Just give me one good week.
I mean, my worst quarterback's Aller right now. I need him to get some wins. He needs to rack up some wins. That's the only reason I drafted him. I was like,
they got
numbers.
Northwestern this week.
Yeah. Who is, tied for 7th Northwestern versus tied for last Penn State. Just how we drew it up, right?
And Nico goes to East Lansing because that was the bugaboo.
Mm-hmm.
It's Michigan State's homecoming game, which means they get to pick their time.
Yeah.
They went 11.
Yeah.
Moved Nebraska to 2:30.
Which we love.
Which is not what Nebraska thought over the last 6 months.
Yeah, that they would be the 11. Yeah.
The plan was to get out and get back because of the short week.
For Minnesota?
For Minnesota.
Yeah.
Did not go that way. Come on, Michigan State and BTN.
Help us out, Michigan State. What are we doing?
That's the 11 o'clock on BTN.
Yeah.
But it's homecoming.
Yeah. Stupid homecoming.
Well, remember last year, who had homecoming? And I asked Keith early. I said, hey, can you tell me in June or whatever? Because he was just trying to do the schedule. And he's like, well, it's homecoming, so we'll have to hang on.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the deal with homecoming? Oh, they get to pick their time. They get to pick the time slot.
That's like the one game a year you get to pick your time slot because you got all the activities.
Yeah.
People usually go earlier than too, right? Because they have, they don't go night game on homecoming usually.
Yeah.
Because they got to have all their festivities to get in.
Not interested in just hanging out.
You just want to hang out in Maryland?
No.
Not a big crab cakes guy?
I love crab cakes.
Crab cakes are good, man.
I'm not interested in spending any more time there than I have to.
There's not a lot of good crab cakes in Omaha. I struggle to find good crab cakes in Omaha.
So
it's one of the blind spots of the city's food scene, I think.
Oh, now the food has declined there, in my opinion, since it opened to now.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a particular place downtown that has pretty sensational crab cakes. A little non-traditional because they're not form-fitting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want lumps of crab and pretty good flavor,
yeah,
this place right here has tremendous crab cakes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll give it a shot.
Now, I'm not subscribing to anything else.
Fair. Totally fair.
But that right there, they do extremely well.
Amazing Daniel says North Carolina A&T homecoming sells out in July. Lucky if you can get standing spot for the parade. That's a band thing, though, right?
Yeah. Hey, I need to know, where am I going to eat in College Park? Because this isn't the same College Park as like Outcast down in Decatur. That's a different college park.
That's I don't know. I haven't been out there. I've been to Baltimore and DC. I haven't been to College Park.
Been to Baltimore. When I worked out for the Redskins back then, because they were the Redskins. Yeah. That's where I flew.
Oh, you flew to Baltimore?
Alex, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They're close. Yeah. It's like what, like an hour or something?
So
45-minute drive.
Whatever.
Depending on the
I had a sweet hotel. I was like, wow.
Yeah, guys, I made it.
Yeah. Must have been that big breakfast.
I don't think I realized you worked out for Washington. I only knew about Carolina.
Yeah, Terry Allen broke a thumb.
Oh.
They flew me in, and
Terry Allen. Nice.
I had to work out with a guy, Alex Smith, who was
different. Alex Smith.
I mean, I just let you know how sweet I was. I got beat out by anyway, there's a running back they brought in from Indiana by the name of Alex Smith.
Were you just going to say you got beat out by a white running back?
I don't know what I was going to say. It was very rainy out. My brain's kind of mushy. I don't know what I was going to say.
Does Alex Smith look like you, or does he look like Alex Smith?
He does not look like me.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why he thought I was going to say that. I don't need you putting words in my mouth.
I'm just asking. Yeah,
it's fine.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, there's about 6 of us there for that workout.
Did that one hurt the most?
No. It was not cool.
Not a huge fan.
No.
It's all right. Down with Washington.
It's hard to train and eat right when you know you've got to work out the next day.
Yeah.
I'm much better at gauging that now. Too bad it's 30 years later.
Just better late than never, right?
Yeah.
We got Cynthia Frelund from NFL Network coming up next.
Yeah, and then we had the punt return, the other punt return for a touchdown. Unfortunately, came back, but we came out. We said we were going to block a punt. Credit to Jameer Khan. Like he prepared all week to block that punt. We told the team he's going to block the punt. Not we hope he blocks the punt. Hey, go block the punt. We said he's going to block the punt. He blocked the punt. Carter scored the touchdown. Should have scored again the second one. So, and you know what? I don't care about the punt. If I'm being really honest with you guys, The punt fake was the right call. Like I'm saying, we're going to put the ball in our guys' hands with a chance to make plays, and we still even had him stopped on that drive. It was 4th and 4. We came unblocked. We trust our defense, and so. We're not going to make our decisions based just on the results. We trust our players, and that's the biggest thing. That game right there, Sam, that was UCLA to me last year. That felt like it at the half. It felt like come on, guys. And you know what? They went after it. And, they didn't just sit back. We just kept battling and fighting. That's been my challenge to our guys. 60 minutes of us playing hard is going to be hard for teams to withstand. And in the end, it's basically a 17-point win. Think about that. We're losing at the end of the third quarter. We win by 17. Unfortunately, we gave the last drive.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
it's a little different. I mean, no shot on the other teams I was on, but like the culture, I feel like they are part of our culture too. So like throughout the whole year, like all the years, Nebraska has grown to become a winning program, especially with Coach Rhule and the way the players have taken on the culture and taken on the standard and the process that we do. We have pride in it, so it shows on the field. And it took a long time, but I'm glad the results are showing.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
It was a tough start, but that last drive. Oh, boy. And a safety sack by Derek Barnes. And that'll end the hope. Most excitement of the night. Here's Allen. Here's Samuel. There's a touchdown. Curtis Samuel gives Buffalo the lead. Pressure. Floating one for the corner. Debo Samuel. He's got it. That's the exclamation point.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. We are joined now by one of our absolute favorites, Cynthia Frelund from the NFL Network. Cynthia, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
We are hanging in there. I'm you talk to so many people. Hard to remember what shows you come on, but remember, I'm the ding dong that always gets frustrated about talking quarterbacks. And
he's got a quarterback question. That's what he's setting up for. I just want you to know that.
Got a quarterback question, Cynthia. No, this one, you're smart and you understand analytics, so I'm asking truly to gain some knowledge. We've seen it happen with these hurt quarterbacks and what happens statistically. Do you have kind of like an opinion or a theory on why where are all the qualified or good backup quarterbacks, or do coaches need to change the preparation during the week for their starters? Like, why is it so drastically bad for backup quarterbacks?
Well, I would first challenge that. Is it drastically bad for all of them, or is it drastically bad for the ones with terrible O-line? I saw Marcus Mariota play pretty well. I saw Mac Jones play pretty well. And then I saw Jake Browning just get crushed all the time. So,
So what do I do with Carson Wentz and what do I do in Baltimore? I don't know. I mean,
well, Baltimore is missing their left tackle, Ronnie Stanley, so that's really tough. And they're also missing every other player on their team. That was a true attrition of all their players last week or yesterday, I guess. But I think that when you look at a Carson Wentz, he has some really bad habits. There's a reason he's been on 6 different teams in 6 season. So, I guess the question is how long are you expecting them to play for? Because now Carson Wentz 3 games, you get the win in 2 of them. That's probably you're thinking 3 games get us. If you were to say I have a backup quarterback who's going to win you 2 of 3 games, you'd probably be like, all right, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? So I guess the question is what happens when you have, and by the way, their O-line complete mess too. Their center went on IR just before the game, et cetera. So, I would argue if we had maybe a little bit better O-lines and O-line play, then we could have a better opportunity for any quarterback. And maybe we wouldn't get to the backup quarterbacks because perhaps the starting quarterback would have a better chance to not get injured.
Cynthia, so, he asked me a similar question last week, and I go, well, I'm pretty sure there's 10 teams in the league that don't like their starters, so I'm not shocked that there's not a lot of backups that we like. But based on that,
there's more than 32 good quarterbacks in the world,
allegedly.
Are there?
That's my contention. I think there might be 15. I think there might be 15. But with that in mind, Cynthia, so here's my actual question is, how many teams today would take Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback?
I told you. I told you guys.
I mean, 31 because the Giants would dig their heels in and be like, heck no. But again, Daniel Jones, O-line, and the fact that Jonathan Taylor's there to help make him look like an all-star, right? If you're looking at their 3rd in yards to go just as a proxy for what types of situations he's been put in, it's 3rd and very short compared to everyone else. It's, consistently after that Rams game, he dropped down to second lowest, but it had been lowest before that. And I bet you by the end of this week, when all the stats are in, he'll be back to lowest third and to go in the league. So it's situational. Everything is the combination of all of the circumstances. I mean, think about Jared Goff. We would have said he wasn't a starter level a couple of years ago, and now can you imagine the Lions without him?
How many points in a row? So. That's too good thought. I want to stay with the Daniel Jones thing because I'm on that hype train. But you agreed with me because you thought, quiet as kept, it was probably one of the better signings of the offseason. So when I watch them play, their physicality is different. When you're watching games, and I don't want to pit them against the low-hanging fruit, but like Miami, but you can clearly see a difference in physicality. How intentional do you think that is with the Colts in that organization?
I think the Colts did a couple of things that flew under the radar a little bit. I mean, Daniel Jones, they had I remember back in the summer, people were like, no way, it's not Anthony Richardson. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it felt like all of the news coming out of there was that they really liked Daniel Jones and they wanted to do things a little bit differently. And obviously there are different styles of quarterbacks. So having someone believe in you, I mean, I can't, quantify necessarily through analytics what that means to someone, but having someone create a situation for you to succeed, that really matters, right? Like the psychology of all of it. They also hired Lou Anarumo on their defense. And as bad as Cincinnati's defense was last year, I mean, maybe what we're seeing from Cincinnati this year, maybe it wasn't Lou's fault. Just a thought, maybe that was the wrong person, the wrong scapegoat. But ultimately, when you're looking at what type of leadership is in the room, what type of men are there, and when they're in, you see in Miami, it's messy there. I don't think there's any reports coming out of Miami being like, things are great. Everyone's super happy, and they sound like they're like really getting along well as an organization. Like, that's not what you're hearing. So I think a lot of it has to do with you want to get a little more pop in your tackle for your teammates if there's a shared goal. Just like everyone's company, if you have better leadership, you're going to get better results. And if you have a situation where you're set up to succeed, you're going to get better results. So I think a lot of what we're seeing has to do with putting the right people and empowering the right people in the right places to be able to execute a shared goal. And obviously it helps to have better players, but ultimately there's some pretty good players in Miami still, and they did not look great in the second half yesterday.
And that's after losing Irsay too, and the quick transition of authority and decision making.
That's right.
Behind
pretty
the scenes.
impressive. Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about perhaps, I mean, it's never, obviously would never want to lose him, but perhaps sometimes we become aligned around a shared, loss, right? A shared loss can give us purpose. And I'm not like
that is poignant. No, that's fantastic.
I'm not, again, it's not good that he's gone. Like, I would never say that, but it's, we can all, and his daughter taking over and perhaps being inspired by what her father had created. And, there's some things, again, we can't quantify out as outsiders what it feels like to be in that room, but you can see it when you're playing for each other. The Bills do it too, even though they had a bad game last night. They rally around when Kim Pagula got ill. There was a big rallying cry for them as well.
I've just seen it in other organizations too, Cynthia. I'm a Lakers fan, and after Bus, the late great Doc, it's not. We just talk like it's plug and play, but I love the point about kind of the unification and kind of in the purpose, right? You never want to make the choice to lose, someone, but sometimes you are galvanized and a common thing because you can recalibrate and focus on what the real goals and objectives are or were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think like we're all humans, and as much as it feels, look, like the NFL is a business, and it's a business, whatever. But so is every company that everyone works for, right? So, pretty much, I mean, unless you're working for, I guess, a charity isn't a business, but whatever, like, it's still a business. At the end of the day, it needs to operate in a certain way. Yeah. And if you're able to have a better, speaks a lot of volumes. I go back to the Lions at the end of last year. I mean, I know it was a rough ending, but they had all of those injuries on defense, and yet they were able to beat the Vikings in a dramatic fashion because they had a very good, if there's anything that Dan Campbell is, he's a great unifier of vision, right? They know what the assignment is. They know what they're playing for each other. They're trying to make the most of everything that's going on in front of them. So that just shows you the difference. And then you have other teams where, once there starts to be rumors, I mean, about people getting fired and stuff like that, people take sides. It's very toxic. There's a reason why some places are a turnstile for coaches and others aren't.
And maybe you'll wait till after tonight, but both teams that I'll ask you about got off to some slow starts and some whispering amongst the fan base and in the national media. Who's closer to being more like we think they have been, the Lions or the Chiefs?
I think they're both close to who we think they have been. I actually think next week's Sunday Nighter is really compelling because the Chiefs had to solve some things, and Xavier Worley, who I will say he did appear on the injury report yesterday, kind of as a surprise. He had some ankle swelling, but having him back was the difference maker. It was, the catalyst for a big change against the Ravens. Now, apparently, the Ravens were also very hurt. Like there's some things there, but it started to look more like the Chiefs we thought. And when you have 15 there and you have 87 and you have some of the pieces, even if they aren't playing to the exact kind of cadence we're used to, it's still, they're going to figure something out. They're going to go back to the drawing board. When it's all said and done, Patrick will be the GOAT. And I don't use that term lightly. I don't say it about everyone. I think he will surpass, and I'm okay saying he'll surpass Tom Brady as, the guy who can figure things out and be a winner. And we'll have the questions, was it Andy or was it Patrick? But we'll have to deal with that when it comes. But I'm not worried. Their defense also looks really good.
Cynthia, you mentioned something there right before that about turnstiles for coaches, and that goes right into a team I've been looking at because I was a big Robert Saleh guy as a 49ers fan, so I thought he kind of did a little dirty in New York. Seems like maybe at 0-5, that was not a Robert Saleh problem.
And I don't think it's an Aaron Glenn problem too. I mean, there's just I think the Jets have to take a look in the mirror. I mean, there's reports coming out that their front office is messy and
man.
There's just a lot of mess. And usually when there's that much smoke, it's not because they're not on fire. You know what I mean? Every organization's going to have a little bit of someone being upset or because it's just life.
Yeah, people.
But I mean, it's just we're to the point now where it's just so much smoke that if it's not on fire, then what is going on? It's so strange. So, I mean, I'm not in the organization. I don't know, but
sure.
I love Aaron Glenn. I'm a big Aaron Glenn fan. I as a human being, as a coach, all this this is it's just crazy. It feels like they need to maybe they need to figure some stuff out with their structure.
What do you think about that roster? Because I don't think the roster is that bad either.
No, but when you see that many penalties consistently, turnovers happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the Bills last night, you have one game with a bunch of penalties and 3 turnovers. That's not normal. They had one interception before last night, some crazy stuff, right? They were not turning. That happens every now and again. But when you see it consistently and it becomes a pattern, then there's something there where I don't know what's going on. But when you have all of those penalties all of the time, that is a signal to me that something's not coming through on the learning part of things.
Cynthia, that's just how you drew it up with the Bills, though. I mean, the Patriots going into Buffalo and winning. But, outside of the fantastic uniforms yesterday, and full disclosure, I have Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, but unfortunately I have them playing the Ravens, so that hot take may not age so well. But I do like Tampa Bay. I like the way they play. Yeah. They've got a lot of good. If you were going to give me some pause and pushback, because I have the Ravens and the Bucs in the Super Bowl, does anything bug you about Tampa Bay, or do you kind of like their trajectory in terms of their playing style?
Well, I mean, they're going to need to get a lot healthier to be a Super Bowl contender because that was a shootout yesterday between them and the Seahawks. And I mean, Todd, like, I love the pressure rate up front. They're great, but it's very hard to consistently win when your secondary can get got like that. Yeah. So it's less. I'm not suggesting they don't have the manpower. I'm suggesting right now they don't have the manpower. So I would say, like, you know, if they can solve that problem, then it's going to be. That was something we were talking about ahead of the season, because, you know, they're like, other than Antoine Woodfield Jr., like, it's like, who in that secondary are we really scared of, right? And perhaps that's a situation where, I don't know. Again, injuries are whatever they are, and figuring that out. But, you know, Todd Bowles' defenses do not allow people to run on them, and you saw some running yesterday against them, and they do. You know, usually they're fierce with the pressure. The pressure rate is still high, but you got to back that pressure up with great secondary play for it to really be effective.
Cynthia, there's 3 teams at 3-2, all with second-year quarterbacks, and I think they all had wildly different expectations heading into the season, at least in my mind. Maybe nationally they didn't. Patriots, Commanders, and then the Broncos.
Okay.
3-2, each of them. Which do you feel the best about?
I think, well, okay. It all depends on what division you're in, right? So I actually feel pretty great about all 3 of them.
Okay.
I think Bo Nix, what we see usually from Sean Payton-led teams is kind of what we saw yesterday. After September, and you can go back and look at Bo Nix's data from last year, and you can see the first 4 weeks were messy, and then things went up and to the right? Like, got significantly better. I mean, they play in a tough division. The Chargers are still really good. You know, the Chiefs are still a problem. You know, so we'll put that little caveat there. But when you have that defense, you're always going to be in it, and you work through some of these offensive issues. But if Bo Nix can do what usually happens with a Sean Payton-led team, then I think that they're going to be in good shape. Now, with the Commanders, they have a very old team. They have the oldest roster in the league. So you're constantly going to be worried about things like, okay, who's going to be playing this week? And that can get difficult week over week if it includes the quarterback, if it includes Terry McLaurin, if it includes, now it worked for them this past Sunday, but that's a hard way to live overall. That has nothing to do with quarterback play per se, but it has to do with the surrounding cast and the chemistry. And even on the defense, like, teams were getting, you know, Marshawn Lattimore can get got, which means you put more pressure on your offense if if the pass defenders are leaky. So that's that. And then, you know, you're looking at, what was the third one you were talking about? What are we talking about?
The Patriots on that one.
Oh, Patriots.
Yeah.
I really like the Drake May situation.
I do
but
too.
The thing that the Patriots have to contend with is that the Bills are in their division. I know they just beat them, but still, the Bills are still a better team. You know, so overall. So when you're looking at those 3 things together, I think the Patriots, I think they'll sneak in as a wild card. I like them ahead of the season to do that. But I still think there's, you know, it is still the Bills division.
Well, this is perfect for you because you like to and can dig inside the numbers. And maybe I'll know more tonight. But I look at Trevor Lawrence and kind of the trajectory, and then the plateauing, and then the dip. He's still 1-to-1 touchdown to interception this year. They're 3-1. Defensively, they have been really good because they're healthy. How do you feel about Jacksonville? Do you need tonight to kind of gauge it, or do you have a feel before tonight on what kind of team Jacksonville is?
Jacksonville has a lot of great things going for them. The run game's working. The defense.
Yeah, they're 5 yards at carry.
Yeah, that's great. The problem is when you can't pass the ball, Trevor Lawrence's passer rating is very low, like 3rd lowest in the league. His completion percentage is sub 60. The problem with that is that if you get down in a hole, it's hard to work your way out of that hole because the run game, 1, it eats up more of the clock, and 2, you get fewer big plays off of those. You need to be able to have the pass game working. I mean, their leading receiver right now is Brenton Strange, their tight end, and their leading receiving touchdown leader is their other tight end. So, you know, when you have a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. on the team, and you have a guy
shout out Hunter Long,
you know, right? Exactly. And you have Travis Hunter, and you're not able to pass the ball. Like, it's just a tough way to live. It's a tough way to live, relying on turnovers from your defense, which they've been great. 13 of them overall. But you got to be able to dig yourself out of holes when you inevitably get into them, and it's hard to do if you can't pass the football.
So, Cynthia, I know we asked about the team they played yesterday a second ago, but I think a lot of people, and I'll include myself in this, liked what the Raiders did in the offseason. Where has the disconnect been for you? Are you bringing a quarterback that I think people were like, oh, it's an upgrade? They like Genty in the draft. I know Bowers has been banged up, but I think most people thought Pete Carroll is a good professional football coach. Like, what's happened there?
Well, number one, their O-line is not it's untenable. That is not a good enough O-line at this level. And they did not address that well enough. And then you saw what happened. Colton Miller gets hurt, and it's even worse. So, and of course, Gino's got to stop throwing interceptions. That is on him. But the O-line, I mean, Ashton Genty, the amount of times he gets hit behind the line of scrimmage is so difficult to deal with for anyone and for any offense that it's no wonder that the turnover rate is what it is, because now you're in these horrible passing situations. But again, Gino needs to stop doing that. He just needs to throw it away more or whatever. But like the whole thing starts to me with the trenches. And on the defensive side of the ball, the secondary is not enough. It's not. I mean, Max Crosby's wonderful and he is truly elite. But other than that, I don't think there's anything that's really scary about that defense whatsoever.
Of these 2-loss teams that could easily make the case they shouldn't have 2 losses, who gets your chips all pushed in? The Chargers, the Rams, or the Chiefs?
I'm still going with the Chiefs.
God, the Rams could easily be 5-0.
They couldn't handle that Mac Jones heat, though.
My problem
the Niners honk over here.
my problem with the Rams is that, and we said it ahead of the season, their secondary, and you saw, who did you see exploit it? Kyle Shanahan. He threw to exactly the same corner. He targeted exactly the same corner. You saw Kendrick Bourne look like a freaking all-star.
He looked like Moss out there in '84.
He did. And why? Because they just went. Kyle Shanahan will do that. It's infuriating. I am married to a Kyle. I think it's a Kyle trait. Like they all know you're weak, and they'll go right to it and just keep going back until you decide to change it. Like that. But it's a Kyle trait, and he did that. So I think it's a whatever. So that's something that worries me about them. Whereas, and look, I love Matthew Stafford. He'll walk into the Hall of Fame. I'm a big Stafford fan, but I just don't think that Stafford does not scare me the same way Patrick Mahomes scares me. Down 21 points at the end, like I'm still taking Mahomes.
Stafford is cooking this year, though.
Yeah, but now no Puka Nacua and no Devontae Adams, which is basically how Patrick Mahomes has been playing with no deep threats and no whatever.
And they'll get Rice back next week too, right? Is it next week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think next week.
Oh, geez.
I think it's next week.
Yeah.
Time flat. I don't know. Time is a flat circle. Like
yes.
I have no idea what's going on.
Cynthia, let me since I was giving a little 49er honk over here, I'll give you a chance to be a Lions honk here for a second. How, I guess, what level of surprise do you have that they don't seem to miss their coordinators more? Or at least Ben Johnson. Maybe I won't throw both of them in there, but like, how surprised are you that there hasn't been a bigger drop off yet?
Well, we talk about like, is a quarterback a system quarterback, and then who's not a system? Well, I think you're a system quarterback until you're not a system quarterback. Meaning, I think that when you learn the system and now you learn how to be a leader in it, like you can't expect these rookies or even second-year players to come out and be like, this is how I want to do it. This is the play that I like. This is this, right? You have to learn how to be an NFL football player. And I think Jared Goff learned how to do that. So now he can help Johnny Morton in a way that he wouldn't have been able to do as a younger player, or that a rookie wouldn't have been able to do. Johnny Morton's familiar with the system. Dan Campbell is the identity of the team, so they all execute against that identity, and they've got a really good O-line. And remaking the interior of that O-line, it took a minute. Of course, it didn't look good against the Packers, But now you're starting to see where especially, all along the middle, that's a really hard part of an O-line to remake for a guy like Jared Goff, who relies on his life in the pocket. And Taylor Decker's been kind of in and out. So, but you're starting to see that, the O-line, the trenches are working. Jared Goff's taking command of the offense and working with Johnny Morton in a way that helps both of them get better. So I think it's not to say that they don't miss Ben Johnson. It's just to say that, it's like the mentor has now, or the student has now become the mentor. I think he's learned a lot from that situation.
And I'm going to be down in College Park this weekend for college with Nebraska. So I'm going to try to get all my Baltimore folks to chime in on this. Is there a world in which we live in, and he's going to stick with Orr. They've been besieged by injuries. Is there any world that we live in, Cynthia, where John Harbaugh could become either taken for granted or just underappreciated?
Of course. I mean, the expectations in Baltimore are sky high every single season. And but fans have very short memories. They have sometimes that can work in your advantage, and sometimes it works to your disadvantage. People are already saying, that they talked about it after the Bills game. John Harbaugh is a terrible play caller. Blah 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 blah.
Do they need a new voice? I'm like, what?
I know. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous, ridiculous. But I do think that bringing in last year, you saw them bring in Dean Pease, who to help Zach Orr out. So I think you could see one of these like more historic, I say that because he's been in the league for so long, but Dean Pease out of retirement to come consult. And sometimes those things do help.
That's Cynthia Frelund from the NFL Network.
It's like Bizarro World, right? I mean, the dean. It's like, what are we talking? It's John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous. When people say that, I'm like, y'all are ridiculous.
If you want to give somebody else one of the best coaches in the league, that's probably a bad move. Cynthia, we appreciate the time as always. Great stuff. We'll talk again soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks.
That's Cynthia Frelund from the NFL
She's
Network.
Fantastic.
One of my favorites.
Must be a Kyle thing. We got a Kyle that's pretty OCD.
Well, I was going to say, I almost made a joke, but obviously she probably doesn't know who your broadcast partner is. And so I was going to make it. Well, I mean, DB's kind of married to a Kyle too.
I am. It's weird.
Yeah.
He stays dialed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I try to mess with him and he's just like, eh.
How's he feeling? Is he getting more like settled in?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope I don't drive him crazy because we're polar opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's super buttoned up and I am not.
It's probably one of those things too, where like this is,
I think he's hilarious.
This is the biggest job he's had.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like part of it, especially early, you like don't want to leave a lot of things loose. You want to like stay in it. I get it.
I dap him up. I tell jokes.
Yeah.
He's a good looking dude. Like I mess with him all the time.
Yeah.
But I just wonder deep down, is he like, this dude is crazy? He might. I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to wonder if
I mean, because if you watch like, so Jess and I, we jack around.
Yeah, you guys have like a
B-Mac and I. Ben says some things sometimes where I wonder if this dude even likes me. Right? It's just, but it's funny.
That's why me and Ben get along.
Yeah. What I asked him, I can't remember what I asked him Saturday, and he goes something to the effect of, well, if I'm not helping you out with your computer or your binoculars, I don't know what good I am, or something to that. I gave him my binoculars because I have some different ones this week. And,
did you get some new ones?
Well, they're not new. I found them.
You found some other ones
in the closet.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know, man. They're your eyes. Should be close enough. And he handed me. And that was code for our eyesight is vastly different. I don't know why you want me to fix your binoculars.
I don't know how helpful this could possibly be.
So he's like, close enough.
Let's that's kind of what I think JP asked me that one time. He's like, why is he having you fix his binoculars? That's probably not gonna work.
Just get me close. I can figure out the rest.
That's what I did. I got you. I was like, okay, if I can see the TV, he's got to be in the neighborhood.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Coaches make winning moves all the time. You need to make your winning move with Centrist Federal Credit Union. Their certificate and savings account bundle offers a competitive rate when you open a certificate and a new savings account. That's 2 excellent rates that could help you reach your financial goals. Discover more about certificate and savings accounts bundles today at centrusfcu.org. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. We will be back with more Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
Yeah, and then we had the punt return, the other punt return for a touchdown. Unfortunately, came back, but we came out. We said we were going to block a punt. Credit to Jameer Khan. Like he prepared all week to block that punt. We told the team he's going to block the punt. Not we hope he blocks the punt. Hey, go block the punt. We said he's going to block the punt. He blocked the punt. Carter scored the touchdown. Should have scored again the second one. So, and you know what? I don't care about the punt. If I'm being really honest with you guys, the punt fake was the right call. Like I'm saying, we're going to put the ball in our guys' hands with a chance to make plays, and we still even had him stopped on that drive. It was 4th and 4. We came unblocked. We trust our defense, and so. We're not going to make our decisions based just on the results. We trust our players, and that's the biggest thing. That game right there, Sam, that was UCLA to me last year. That felt like it at the half. It felt like come on, guys. And you know what? They went after it. And, they didn't just sit back. We just kept battling and fighting. That's been my challenge to our guys. 60 minutes of us playing hard is going to be hard for teams to withstand. And in the end, it's basically a 17-point win. Think about that. We're losing at the end of the third quarter. We win by 17. Unfortunately, we gave the last drive.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centrus Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, no shot on the other teams I was on, but the culture, I feel like they are part of our culture too. So throughout the whole year, all the years, Nebraska has grown to become a winning program, especially with Coach Rhule and the way the players have taken on the culture and taken on the standard and the process that we do. We have pride in it, so it shows on the field. And it may have took a long time, but I'm glad the results are showing.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Well, my whole point was they just get to the fourth quarter with the wind at our back. And, like we're just going to go win the fourth quarter. It was 3rd and 9. We were kind of out of rhythm. We got him outside the pocket, and that was a great play design. We ran a similar play last week, the one that Isaiah caught that was, he unfortunately stepped out of bounds on, but it was a different play, and we just ran it off of that. And it was a game plan play that worked. And, I just feel like, at the end of the day, when you put the ball in Dylan's hands and Ja'Cory Barney's hands, something good's probably going to happen. And, they found a way to make it happen. And then I think after that, obviously the kickoff it was beneficial. Like I wanted to get to the fourth quarter by kicking into the wind. Like they misfielded that ball. And, that was a 10-point swing, obviously.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, if you haven't yet, go to bbbsmidlands.org to become a mentor today. They're trying to get 60 men in 60 days to help alleviate their wait list that has 70% of it are boys waiting for mentors. Doesn't take a lot of time, just 4 hours a month, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up to make a big difference. It's bbbsmidlands.org. to learn more and to sign up to be a mentor today. DB, can I go through some with you real quick?
Yes.
So
Tiger wants to talk to Kyle this week. Shane, do you want to see if Kyle wants to talk to us?
Just win, baby.
He might.
I think Kyle likes us.
No, he's funny.
We talk to Kyle. We can always talk to Kyle.
Yeah.
So On3 puts out these Heisman polls every week, right?
Okay.
This isn't a trap, I promise. It's not a trap.
I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello.
Do you want to guess who comes in at number 10 on this list? They go 1 through 10.
Dylan Raiola.
Nope. It is somebody related to how I feel about Nebraska.
You better not say it can't be one of the bad quarterbacks.
Nope, it's not. More related to Nebraska than that.
10. Barney.
Brendan Sorsby.
Oh, 10 is low.
It might be low.
What is he, like 12-1? What is he, touchdowns, interceptions, not including rushing?
We'll take a look here. Brendan
I like.
Sorsby.
Thank you for the graphic here. Simpson, Moore, Trinidad, Chambliss. That is unbelievable.
Incredible. I love it. He's balling though. Like I think
that might be low for Sorsby.
I think it is. So Sorsby, so far on the year, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Shane, give this guy breakfast. 12-1. Okay, let's go.
How many rushing touchdowns do you think he has?
4.
He's got 5.
Okay.
He's going for 6.6 a carry. He's got 1,257 yards passing.
What's his completion percentage?
66.
Iowa State's tackling. That game was on during the pregame show. Mm-hmm. Atrocious.
Yeah, very bad.
And by the way, B-Mac and Kyle collectively have kind of transitioned doing the pregame differently.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much a preview show.
Mm-hmm.
This freaking Benny Mac is in fuego.
I know it ended up being reasonably close. They were going full belt to ass on Iowa State early in that game.
I just couldn't believe how Iowa State, and I get it, Iowa State was besieged by injuries. But the tackling was so bad.
Have we decided that Cincinnati's good now? Are we cool? Do we have to keep doing this every week? Because I'll do it every week.
No, people thought I was just defending Nebraska. I told you after.
Yeah, you watch them and you're like, that's a good team.
That's a good team.
Yeah, that's a good team.
Wait till Michigan wins in Los Angeles.
Yeah. You go, so you got.
We'll be less whiny.
Do you think people believed you when they were like, hey, yeah, there was like 20 NFL scouts there to see Sorsby?
I saw him. I don't know why they wouldn't believe me.
I don't know, but like maybe they're like, they're probably there to see somebody else. Or they're like, we'll see Sorsby too.
Well, maybe they wanted to see Corleone too.
Yeah, sure.
But they were still both guys on since the team that Nebraska was playing.
Yes, and beat, by the way. I don't know if you remember this. Nebraska beat Cincinnati.
And listen, again, I am not yet ready to grandstand about anything prophetic about Nebraska. I'm just telling you.
That's a good win. That's all I'm saying. That's a good win.
It's a good win.
That's a good win.
Cincinnati's a good team. Michigan's a good team. And I think Nebraska's a good football team.
I agree. I'll beat my chest about it later when I'm actually right. But, that's a good win. The Cincinnati win's a good win. That's not that's something that Nebraska Not just.
I mean, not everybody's gonna go 25-6 in one set in volleyball to like be validated.
That was. Good Lord.
Well, that's the first thing I thought of when you said Beltabunda.
Yeah.
Which is why I put her up here this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. That was unbelievable. I don't know Penn State's struggling this year, but like that was 25-6. You don't do that against anybody
in rally scoring.
That's
you scored 6 points
total.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. I don't think I've seen I don't think I've seen a score. I don't think I've seen a team score that few points.
Yeah.
Like ever.
I again.
And some of these,
Shane, and it's about time we recycled her pressers too. She's sensational.
Yeah. She's full on psycho mode.
Oh God, I love it.
Like dialed.
Whether it's the wardrobe,
dialed
the
in,
floral prints, the
eyes,
intense eyes.
Yes. Oof. Scares me, man.
Very, very direct.
Yeah.
No, I'm past that.
I love it.
She's hilarious.
Incredible stuff. Like I could not, like it was a bad weekend to play Nebraska.
Yeah. And she's not one of those coaches, because we see this all the time, right? People mistake activity for achievement. A lot of times coaches, they talk loud and like they just talk to be talking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you probably ask their players, they're like, what is this guy even? I used to joke
what is he talking about?
I used to joke with this about Elmation all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The guy would he would talk the whole time during practice. He'd constantly be talking to Nebraska secondary. And I'm like, this isn't constructive. You just hear his voice. Like, are they getting better? You may make that mistake with a guy like Eckler, right? You hear him a lot, but it is extremely productive.
Dude, and those guys love him. He strikes me as he strikes me as a guy that I would get annoyed by.
Have you ever coached with people like that just yap?
Yeah.
And you're like, shut up.
And I'm like, you're not saying anything. Stop doing that. That's why I don't often like guys. Like my initial thought when I see a guy of Eckler's personality type is fake. That's my initial thought, right? I don't think he is, because there's too many guys that ride with him for that to be the case. But that's my initial thought, because most people aren't like that.
And he's constantly a get the next one guy.
Yes. But
he's always coaching.
So when he got hired and I was talking to Kenny and he's like, oh no, we love that dude. And I was like, really? Because he seems like a wear out.
Yeah.
Like he seems like a guy I would get sick of. And he's like, no, like Levante will ride with that dude. Will Compton will ride with that dude. I wasn't even playing defense. I'll ride with that dude. Like everybody loves Eckler.
He's just contagious.
Yes.
I told you when he pulled Marty to the side, he kept him for 15 minutes. I was terrified.
Like, he gets after it on the sideline.
I was like, oh, Jess. So I don't know. Maybe we can get Jess and Kyle. She can't probably even say half the things she hears, but I mean, she's like real time. She's like, you have got to hear JB. And then you hear Coach Rhule say after the game, oh, that was East Coast John Butler.
Oh, yeah, his Philly came out.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, Jess isn't like super. She'll tell you to F off, right? Like,
yeah.
It's not like she's some little choir girl. So for her to be taken aback by somebody's delivery, and she's like that with Eck.
Yeah.
And then the other day, she's like, oh, never mind. He's back to coaching him up. Like he was mad about a ball going out of bounds.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, you guys, like, and then not within 30 seconds, she's like, all right, well, he's on to the next one. We're talking about this, and this.
I love
it. So then it helps us. You know what I mean?
On to the next one. You got to keep moving.
So it's just certifiable. And even Caleb, we were going home. I was asking him, like, man, it's like you gave me crazy vibes early. Like you have to give him your helmet. And he's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Blah. I'm like, all right. And he goes, man, how about that though? That was like a total Eckler game, wasn't it? I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, it's his personality. They're just relentless all the time and like the pursuit of excellence.
Just next one.
And it's why it's so frustrating sometimes, L3, because like that's how you want to be.
Have to be.
Move on.
You lose that game if you don't think that way.
Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I said it about Coach Rhule and his personality, right? You trust your deal, like get his personality, get Eckler's personality, be competitive. But you think Butler doesn't hear the criticisms?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he does. He just keeping on.
I know it doesn't always look like we wanted to. That's a pretty good defense.
No.
And I'm going to tell you what.
You can't take away everything. You just have to
decide what you're okay with.
Can I just go back to something we said 4 months ago?
Yeah.
This was along the lines of folks, and maybe it was rightfully so. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they could just line it up and tank it at you. I'm like, well, who wants to play like that?
Yeah.
Then I told you in the offseason, just having these sit-downs with Coach Rhule, and we talked about true drop-back passers versus, guys that could actually spin it versus RPO guys, and evolving into the way that college offenses play. Like we were talking about all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The defense is built to play a certain way against the majority of opponents they'll play.
Yeah. There's not that many teams that
I don't know what kind of benefits or whatever it will reap, but it is intentional.
Yeah. There's not that many teams.
It's intentional how they're playing. Now, you can always get better within the scheme, which is what they're going to try to do. But it's built for the long haul.
And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be right about this defensive line by the time the year's over. I'm just telling you that.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm going to be right, but
I just want to be right about the offensive line.
I'm going to be right about the defense.
It is a fine line.
I'm going to be right about the offensive line.
As I told you, these guys can run block.
Yeah.
And I told you I thought Holgorsen run the ball. And early on, I'm just like, golly, I'm not very smart.
Well,
but I still think he wants to run the ball. And I do know that they're good at run blocking.
You know the thing that they were talking about, or that Sam was talking about with Washington, with Malik Washington and Maryland?
Yeah.
I think a lot of these, they do run a lot of RPO, Nebraska. A decent amount of RPO.
Uh-huh.
I think Dylan's choosing not to hand the ball off in a lot of those. So, again, it may look like they're not running the ball as much as they want to, but they are giving themselves options to run it a lot.
Yeah.
And then again, I know it doesn't count as that, but what are those two screens to Hunter?
Yeah.
You think Hunter running into guys isn't physically punishing? You think Pritchett and Jenkins or Justin Evans is getting out there and you don't think that's physically punishing?
What do you think Justin Evans said to the back judge?
Oh, I have no idea.
God,
He had a look on his face though.
Oh, did they?
Evans did. They zoomed in on his face afterward.
Yeah.
And I was like, he does not look happy.
Yeah, he's
mean-spirited, as you like to say.
Listen.
Mean-spirited.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it, though.
I guarantee you he didn't say something like, "Excuse me, sir.
Pardon me.
The clock's ticking. Why are you standing over the ball? We would like to snap it. Why are you standing there?
Excuse me.
You're impeding my progress.
Pardon.
Can we go now?
Do it.
If it's okay with you."
And it screwed up the play because they had to wait.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he was steaming. He probably was just like, why are you still – that's probably what he said. Why are you still standing here?
Yeah, I'm sure it was like that in the tone too and everything.
When you don't get nary a warning and it's nothing you did physically.
Yeah.
Like I said to Casey, he hit one of the 7 words, George Carlin, you can't say.
You probably said some of those magic words that get you running a baseball game.
Probably get your MFing bunda out of the MFing way so we can get to playing this MFing game.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Just win, baby.
Something in that neighborhood, I would guess.
I got to go back. So they put the camera on him?
Yeah, they did. Right after, and the look on his face.
He never smiles, so you're never going to see that.
Yeah, that was. Speaking of some people that aren't smiling, Rico, you want to throw that preseason top 10 graphic up for me?
Oh Lord!
I just want to see where we're at. Okay, this is an AP preseason top 10 teams in the country. Texas, number 1, currently unranked. Oof. Okay. Penn State, number 2, currently unranked. All right. Ohio State, they're good. We like them. Clemson, number 4, currently unranked. So I just want to do my math here real quick. That's 3 out of the top 4 teams in the preseason top 10 that are no longer ranked in the AP top 25 poll. Am I reading that correctly? Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Georgia went from 5 to 10. Notre Dame went from 6 to 16. That's not great. Oregon up a few spots. Go Big Ten at number 3. Alabama dead even after a roller coaster ride. They went from 8 to like 22 after the loss to Florida State. Sort of left for dead.
A little on the ropes against Vandy at the house, too.
Yeah, what was it? It was 2014 going into the fourth?
Yeah.
They had a big fourth quarter to come up there.
And got the late dirty cover, too.
Yeah.
Icky.
Yeah.
Unless you took them.
LSU, I did not. LSU down 2 spots. I still don't I don't think LSU's good.
I don't either.
I don't think they're good.
I think their coach is just a little too highly combustible.
What is the I'm curious what you think the best win that LSU has is off the top of your head.
Oh, they don't have a good one yet.
No, because Clemson is bad and Florida's bad.
Yeah, they don't have a good one yet.
So they have an entirely fraudulent resume.
What's up next? Is it South Carolina?
South Carolina's next. Then they go at Vandy. I mean, they'll have their chances. Don't get me wrong. But them still being
is A&M in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, so that helps. But then they go at Bama.
Boy, that's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, so they've got at Vandy, A&M, at Bama, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and then at Oklahoma.
I'm surprised you haven't hammered Nussmeier because you didn't love him either. He just didn't fit the second-year window.
Yeah, he didn't fit the same narrative, but he was a guy that I go like, okay, nobody was in love with him last year. Now we're talking about as a possible number 1 pick. Like, what do we?
And what people whisper they think he's hurt.
Are we doing the Arch Manning conspiracy theory? Oh, my shoulder's hurt again thing?
Nussmeier might actually be hurt though.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
Arch is just
bad. Arch is bad. I'm not saying he's gonna be bad forever. Like maybe he gets good at some point. Right now, he's bad at football.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to tell you, man. I could not believe. I know we talked about this earlier. I could not believe how it was almost like you've got kids, so you know how this goes. Like you've potty trained several at this point. It almost when he finally made the touchdown pass and didn't overthrow the guy, it was almost like, congratulations for not pooping yourself, Arch. Way to go, buddy. Like it was so patronizing sounding, but also weird.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so it was Arch finally got one, I think was the call. And I go, what are we doing here?
Like that, like
it was so
what did he
weird.
say that to? Just kick.
I don't remember.
Cut that up. What did my man LB say? He said, you mentioned teams running right at Nebraska. How many teams have we played that want to play that way? We are tied for 88th in rush defense. Yeah, and we're top 30 in points per play given up defensively. So I'll take that trade-off. I don't know how many. So it won't be Maryland.
I mean, we did this before the year. There's tops 3.
We did it a lot.
Tops 3, right?
But now we've seen how teams actually want to play.
Michigan,
so we can see if we're right or not.
Michigan was 1.
Yeah.
Iowa, we assume will be 1.
And Minnesota.
See, and I don't think Minnesota.
It's different.
That's outside zone. They don't really want to.
It's different,
right?
It's different.
Like that's not. I don't think it's the same thing. Penn State doesn't really want to do that. I know people put Penn State in there.
UCLA does not
because they like their running.
SC is more gap, so
yeah,
they're not going to want to do that.
So we're literally just talking about sort of Minnesota and Iowa.
Yeah,
which is again what we said at the beginning of the year, because people are like, oh, they're going to get gap, or they're going to get crushed going up the middle. They're going to get crushed going up the middle. I go, okay, who actually wants to play that way? This isn't 2017 Big Ten West.
Yeah, and I don't want to be dismissive of the fact you want to tighten up the run game, the run defense, because you do.
Yes, absolutely. But they also did against Michigan State.
Yeah,
so that was a good effort.
So are we gauging it on
what they were,
or where they're trending?
Yes,
because that's ultimately what's going to matter.
Because against Michigan State, I'll bring up the numbers for you in case.
No, I already saw him. Frazier at 18 for 58.
I mean, for the Royal,
Frazier at 18 for 58.
For as much as for all the consternation about Aiden Childs, who they got loose a couple times, I'm not going to lie to you.
He did end up with 23 rushing yards.
13 carries, 23 yards, 1.8 a carry. Mekhi Frazier.
Tullis didn't go for more than 2 per, did he?
He didn't go for 1 per. He had 5 carries for 4 yards.
Oh, he must have had a bad loss.
His longest was 5, so it was
okay,
not great either way. And then the backup Alessio had 1 carry for 1 yard.
I just want to hear Kyle say the backup quarterback's name again?
I just want to hear.
I don't know how he nailed that on the first
Well,
try.
he's got that on Brando because it took him about 4.
Dude, nobody had anything good to say. What is that? You don't have to. But.
He called Hunter Kaiseya at one point. He goes, Kaiseya Hunter.
So
I go, wait, I'm sorry.
At one point, and I just didn't know if it was like Nebraska X or Twitter, but fans were going in.
So here was my problem. It wasn't even like oh, he doesn't like us or he's being a homer, he's rooting for the other team. All that was what some people have a problem with. He was just not properly seeing things that were happening. He said Braylon Prude got the touchdown. That was Carter Nelson. He said Matt Rhule is in year 4 on the 3rd and goal touchdown run with all the eye candy on it. He thought it was 4th down.
Lance asked me about Guthrie. Not at all. Actually, just the opposite, probably. Keep going.
He thought it was 4th down when Nebraska scored because he's like, oh, he's gonna try and gamble and get the points again. It's like it's 3rd down, buddy. You're not supposed to kick here. I don't know what to tell you. Like it was just like he didn't seem like he knew what was going on. Like it was tough.
Yeah, they didn't come out of the studio a ton.
Yeah,
and they're right next door to us. And usually, I mean, it's not like they fraternize, but
I mean, I'll be honest. I know you don't want to. I'm not going to hammer him. I didn't think Rex Guthrie played that well, personally. I thought he had a tough game.
I'm not in that discussion.
That's fine. I thought that's one of them where I disagreed with the PFF. I know he ended up with
the PFF wasn't great. Was it mid-60s, low 60s?
Yeah, but he was like the 4th best player on the defense, rank-wise, which I did not think was accurate. I thought he struggled at times. I know he made a lot of tackles and kind of made up for some of his.
They played Rhett early,
which is not a great sign. I'm just gonna be honest. Like that's not like Rhett hasn't played that much, right? He only played 14 snaps. He hasn't played that much in general, especially he played mostly against Houston Christian and Akron late. So if you're putting Rhett in there that's probably not a sign that you think the other guy's playing great at the moment. I didn't think he played that well, despite the fact that he had a lot of tackles. So just something to keep an eye on. I don't know what that looks like moving forward.
That's just an area I think as the second level, as is the third level. You keep evaluating.
Yeah, because I've been big on. I don't think these guys are getting downhill fast enough. I don't think they're fitting the run well enough. Like I think that's the main issue. Because again, I do think
it's going to be an evolution too for all those guys. We definitely see it on the second level.
I thought the second level played probably one of their better games of the season so far.
They're getting better.
Yes, I agree. And I think the defensive line's getting better. Keona Davis was the 3rd-ranked defender by PFF.
I wondered where he was.
I thought he was pretty good. He didn't have a lot of splash plays. I thought he was
good
pretty
at the point of attack, though.
Yes. Yeah, he held up really well at the line of scrimmage. So, 2 of your top 3.
He's huge.
I love Keona Davis. Like, that's my guy.
I think I misgauged it a little. I knew I wanted to put him on like the all-bus team, but he was walking.
He's a monster.
When Jess and I did the pregame, and he's grown since.
He's a monster.
The offseason.
He's so big. Like that's a guy that. So 2 of your top 3 defenders, according to PFF, again, take with a grain of salt, but these guys actually did match my eye test. The top 3 did actually. Javen Wright, Williams Nwaneri, and Keona Davis, I all thought had very good games, and they're your top 3 defenders on PFF.
Yeah.
And Marshall's 4th. I thought Marshall had a good game.
So I'm so happy. Like,
because he had gotten picked on a little bit against Michigan, although they weren't able to connect.
This is the total coach.
Yeah.
And I felt like between Javen and Marshall, just the bounce back games.
I thought Singleton, just even with the interceptions, but I thought Singleton played much better.
He's playing at a high level.
I know he's a guy that had a hard time coming into the year. He's played very well this year.
He's played at a high level.
I agree.
And
I've been impressed with him.
He was sitting down before the game, and this was early, and he kind of gave me this wry smile, and I was like, man, I don't know if you can play a lick, but that smile is going to keep you paid. And he just laughs. And He doesn't say much. He's just an interesting.
What'd you think about Judy? Because he had played really well against Michigan, I thought.
So here's what I think they're figuring out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. I think when you shuffle in the D-line, you have to call the games to their strengths.
Sure, like what Jack's going to do.
Not all concepts everybody can do, so you have to play to their strengths. When he's in the game, I think you have to play it a certain way. When I think
like Van Poppel's in there.
You have to play it a certain way. So you have to be very cognizant of who's in the game. And if you're giving your position coaches free reign for substitutions, that's one of the things I think as coordinators that really, like, Coach Queen and I talk about this all the time. Hey, who's in the game? Who do you have for such and such? Or, because you have to kind of know based on how you call the game.
Yeah.
So I think they're growing in that in that range.
We did see a little bit more defensive tackle, interior lineman,
a little more forefront,
and
true four.
Yeah, it was a little bit more true four, and we also saw some more guys in there. Gabe Moore, David Hofkin, also got snaps when it mattered.
Yeah.
We saw. I know he's on the outside. We saw Petchak in there for quite a few snaps as well. So they're keeping guys in and out. So I think they're trying to match fronts with what they want to do almost more than they matching what they want to do with who they have in there. Like, I think they're rotating pretty intentionally.
That's part of how I think this defense has to grow.
Yeah. It certainly helps if Winery and Keona Davis do what they did.
Yeah.
That helps everybody else.
Yeah.
That makes life a little bit easier.
Do you?
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. That's our Monday show. Don't forget, you can come into Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill and get their fall specials. Got a whole new fall menu, including that loaded baked potato pizza that we haven't tried out yet that we still need to. We're going to give that a go here at some point. They also have specialty fall drinks as well. Stop on by either location, Gretna or La Vista. DB and I will be back tomorrow on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.